Tell me how, I got nothing to say. Tell me why, but my tombstone is blank. 'Cause I'm not the one who won't try. I'm not letting life pass me by. And tell me when the days are less gray. And tell me where is the road to less pain. How many days before I decay? It's getting so hard to get by. Where are all my trophies in life? And he hated the way he was dying, but the moment he turned on the light, he became what he dreamt of at night when he was young and hungry for life.
Set to sail to a place I can't say. Live a life worthy of chase. The time is today. New blood in my veins. I won't be the joker in life, playing the part I don't like. And he hated the way he was dying, but the moment he turned on the light, he became what he dreamt of at night when he was young and hungry for life. And he hated the way he was dying, but the moment he turned on the light, he became what he dreamt of at night when he was young and hungry for life. Yeah.
And he hated the way he was dying, but the moment he turned on the light, he became what he dreamt of at night when he was young and hungry for life. 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 Young and hungry for life.
My goodness! I felt like I haven't said that in many, many, many days. Usually it's boring. I wouldn't necessarily say tonight was boring, but I think I can confidently say, Chad, by just a small margin, SummerSlam Night 2 was better than Night 1. We got a major problem, though. We got a major problem, and I got a lot of questions. We got a lot of questions, which we will talk about tonight, as to why these matches were so short. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins almost went just as long as all the matches on the card combined. That's a problem. But we got Kevin Owens back on Friday night. Oh my God, thank God. Thank God. Chelsea Green is the new interim women's champion. And Chad Gable, he won the IC championship, but WWE felt possessed to throw a root beer ad into his family celebration. You don't hate these people enough. We're going to talk about this Night 2 SummerSlam tonight. I got a tall boy of the liquid death. That's what I'm drinking tonight, man. So all I want to know as we head to the beer garden on this Sunday night is, what the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there.
It also isn't about excuses. WWE has failed creatively. AEW has failed fundamentally. So why did Triple H lose the plot? Why did Tony Khan abandon everything that made AEW special? Because nobody is committed to the one thing that actually matters: long-term booking.
What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your SummerSlam Night 2 post show for your August 2nd, 2026. I'm your host, JD from New York, as always, coming to you live from the OTS Beer Garden. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on this Sunday evening, wherever you may be. SummerSlam 2026 chat is now in the books. It is now in the books. After consuming this year's SummerSlam, this rendition of SummerSlam, looking back at what we got in totality over Night 1 and Night 2, I was a little angry last night, and rightfully so. I heard what other people had to say. I don't know what show they were watching. I did not have fun with last night's show. I was utterly disappointed with many aspects of Night 1. Mainly the Brock Lesnar Obafemi Hell in a Cell match, where I had to block so many dumb, stupid, nonsensical fucking online ghouls because of their inability to understand anything that comes off this show. The Hell in a Cell was utterly, and I mean utterly disappointing. And if you don't think so, I'm going to reiterate once again, you are absolutely part of the problem for today's WWE product because you don't realize how powerful your voice could be and people just willingly accept whatever Triple H, TKO, and WWE serves you. I'm a big Cody guy. I'm a big CM Punk guy. Has Cody been the most interesting thing on television? No, he's fucking boring. Has CM Punk been some of the best WWE television in 2026? When he's been there, yes. Without CM Punk, I fear where WWE would even be right now. I have said for months, that's my preferred match. I've said that's the biggest match that WWE has on their plate. And it is. And we're not done with it yet. I'm assuming there'll be 2 more matches still to come between those two. It's not over yet. They'll meet once again when the time calls for it. But was I impressed with match number 1? Not the way that I wanted to be. Half of that's WWE's fault. When you go into a match, see, this is what people don't understand. You could take the 2 biggest guys in the entire industry and put them in a match together. The only thing that's going to make that match interesting is a story. They're going to produce a great pro wrestling match, but at the end of the day, story is king. What would have made that match better was actually story that came along with it going into SummerSlam. WWE forced the narrative down our throats and tried to force something that just wasn't there over the last 3 weeks, and then put this on the poster and put this on the marquee for the night 1 mega main event. And then it didn't even end up being the main event because Brock Lesnar wanted to close the show with Obafemi. And then CM Punk ranted about it on the post show for WWE. Story is king. I was disappointed with what they produced. Did they produce a bad match? No, they didn't. But it was 30 minutes of, all right, it's okay. And for CM Punk and Cody, chat, you know that's not suitable. We should not be sitting here with a Cody Rhodes and CM Punk WWE Championship match and just claiming that it's okay. I don't accept that. You may accept that. I don't accept that, and I'll never accept that. We don't accept mediocrity around here. Io Sky and Liv Morgan. They had a good match. They had a good match. They needed to have a good match. Liv Morgan hasn't defended the championship all year. She has defended the title 1 time coming out of WrestleMania. They had a good match. It's tough to have a bad match when you're in there with Io Sky. Good match. Did I care about the match coming in? No. We saw it at Night of Champions, and it wasn't anything all that exciting then. But they produced a good match. And it started things off on the right foot last night. Nick Aldis and Gunther, they had a very good match. I would have loved to see it go more than 11 minutes. But I thought they had a very good match and a story coming into it. And seeing Nick Aldis in the ring wrestling one of the best wrestlers in the world, whether you like him or not, and Gunther, I thought that was one of the best matches all weekend. The presentation, the moment for Nick Aldis, the story coming in, honestly, wasn't anything all that special, but at least WWE created a story that had consistent television. Outside that, there really wasn't much to talk about. There wasn't. Now, you take what I said there, it sounds like night 1 was pretty good. It wasn't. It was just a show. It was just there. There was nothing that jumped off the page after the show was over that made it really feel anything like a SummerSlam should feel. WWE let you down in several different aspects. Coming into tonight, they needed to hit a home run. I wouldn't say this was a home run. This was a solid double off the right field wall. This wasn't a bad show. It was a good show, which was predominantly saved by Chad Gable and Penta, which I'll get into in a second, Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, which was the best match all weekend. Not surprising. And then we had Kevin Owens returning, making the Sami Zayn and Finn Balor match that was supposed to be for the number one contender to the WWE Championship into a fatal four-way because Nick Aldis added Gunther. Yes, Nick Aldis is back as the general manager of Friday Night SmackDown. WWE didn't waste any time to even tell a story as to why that happened. Hopefully they will on Friday. Finn Balor, Sami Zayn, Gunther, and a returning Kevin Owens is now back with the WWE on Friday night. And my God, man, he is a shot in the motherfucking arm that Friday night so desperately needed. And that was one of the best moments all weekend. To see him back. He is one of the best things about their television show and has been for a very long time. Outside that, on night two, I can't really pinpoint what really blew me away on tonight's show. I'm going to start with the good. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, WWE World Heavyweight Championship match, best match of the weekend. They got a lot of time to tell their story. We got a lot of Shield lore. We got table power bombs. We got shout outs to Dean Ambrose from Michael Cole. We had a Death Rider by Roman Reigns tonight. We had both guys in the match tonight doing their own finishing maneuvers. We had Seth doing a spear and Roman doing a buckle bomb and a stomp. There was a lot of Shield lore coming out of this match. And whether you like Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins or not, it is pretty difficult to sit here and not appreciate what they bring to WWE. Main event consistency. Roman Reigns is one of the best big match, if not the best big match performer in all of pro wrestling. There's nobody more consistent than Roman Reigns. Quote me. I don't give a fuck who you name. You want to name me some New Japan fucking guy out of the blue, or you want to name me Okada or Kenny Omega, whatever the case may be. Roman Reigns is the most consistent main event level performer in the business. Nobody commands a crowd, and nobody feels at that level bigger than Roman Reigns. And we've all criticized Roman Reigns for the lack of appearances or the lack of him being on television to actually sell some of the stuff that we're getting on television leading into a PLE. But when Roman Reigns is on television, and when Roman Reigns enters a big match situation on a major PLE, it is very difficult to find somebody that has been as consistent and at that level than Roman Reigns. So yes, he probably looks at all that and he hears that type of thing and he says, I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing. I don't really need to be there. Would I like to see, as a fan, would I like to see Roman Reigns wrestle on a Monday Night Raw once every 3 or 4 months? Sure, I would. If the situation calls for it. That's up to WWE to book something like that, to book something that special to happen. I would love to see that. But when he's off TV 2-3 weeks at a time, only to come back and leave his challenger or his opponent selling a storyline without him there, or we have to resort to telling a story via vignettes or video packages, that's when you really kind of test the fans' patience. And sometimes we don't want that. Sometimes we want legitimate story. Sometimes we want to see things play out on television. Sometimes we want that added drama when both of them are in the ring physically together. And then for Seth Rollins, I mean, this goes back years. Seth Rollins is a tremendous pro wrestler. There's something about Seth Rollins that just clicks in a different way when he's in there with certain guys. When he's in there with Roman Reigns, when he's in there with CM Punk, when he's in there with Cody Rhodes, he delivers a big match every single time. And he's one of the most elite performers in the entire business. Nobody sells a match like Seth Rollins when he's on and he's allowed to actually be a human being and not have to recite catchphrases. I'm a revolutionary. I'm a visionary. I'm this. I'm that. When he gets down to business and he's Seth Rollins and he wants to develop some anger and some emotion, Rollins is one of the best big match promos in the business. So, of course, you put both of these guys in the ring together and you kind of mix up this recipe with both of what they bring to the table. Of course, it's going to be a great main event. WWE didn't really do anything all that exciting to get me excited about the match coming in. We got every single week, they recited almost the same promo week after week after week after week. At the beginning of all this, we all questioned why Seth Rollins never even won King of the Ring to ask for this match as a legit contender. They gave it to Obafemi, who ended up giving it up. I very much question that. He enters the King of the Ring. He loses it in the first round. He ends up getting a championship match anyway at SummerSlam, yet the guy who won gave up his match to wrestle Brock Lesnar. It's a little comical. So they didn't really get us started off on the right foot there. Brother, I love you. I would love if you give me another shot at the title. You've never beaten me. Little brother, I will certainly do that. I have to beat you. I need to beat you. I mean, it's the same language. They recited it over and over and over again, week after week after week, with a bunch of these mini episodic movies that they've thrown in there about their history in the Shield and how Rollins has beaten Roman Reigns in every big match situation, and Roman doesn't have that within him to beat Rollins when the time matters, when the match matters. They danced around that all build, and they didn't really give you anything new. There wasn't anything bloodline related up against Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins was just basically kind of poking the bear. I've beaten you. You've never beaten me. Big brother, little brother, blah, blah, blah. So they didn't really do much of anything to get me interested coming on in. I knew it would be a great match. And the end result ended up being 31 minutes of the best match all SummerSlam. And by far and away, they blew Cody and Punk out of the water. And this is the reason. Story. Not necessarily story from what we've seen on television, just long-term story. There's a lot of equity in Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. There's a lot of real estate in both of their men's careers because they came up together and then they split. The Shield was no more and they went on two separate paths. But they've always crossed paths. They've always come back around to find each other. Rollins in one place, Roman in another. And now they're both at full strength, both at the top of their game as two individual performers. So, of course, 14 years of all that equity built up, 14 years of all that frustration built up, 14 years of all that history built up, 14 years of all that story built up. Just based on that alone, Cody Rhodes and CM Punk didn't even stand a chance to compete about SummerSlam's top match. There was no way for them to compete with what Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns were bringing to the table, even though the build might have been less than coming on into SummerSlam over the last 3 or 4 weeks. Story. History. Something in which CM Punk and Cody Rhodes don't have. Sure. They have a lot in common. But none of that played out on WWE television, and they can't play that out in 3 weeks. I thought what they did was tremendous tonight. Was it better than CM Punk and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania? No. No, it wasn't. I still take that match to be the best match in WWE all year. This is definitely going to be in the top 3. Top 5 at best. I thought what they did was tremendous. Kevin Owens being back on WWE television was also one of the highlights of the entire weekend. I kind of figured he would be back in WWE because there were rumors that Kevin Owens was in Minneapolis. He was doing some meet and greets. He was at the Fan Fest, signing autographs, taking pictures and whatnot. His name has been making the rounds over the last week or so. Both him and Randy Orton were floating around in the rumor mill. Randy Orton returned last night at the end of the Cody and Punk match to cost Cody the WWE Championship by RKO. And Kevin Owens, we figured that he would be involved in some way, shape, or form coming into tonight. And I said last night, I wouldn't be surprised to see him actually come out and do something with Sami Zayn tonight. I didn't have any idea, and I don't think anybody thought that Triple H would take Sami Zayn and Finn Balor one-on-one match for the number one contender to the WWE Championship and make it a fatal four-way. A fatal four-way including Gunther and Kevin Owens himself. I thought that was a great moment. Kevin Owens is now back on Friday Night SmackDown. Kevin Owens is now the number one contender for the WWE Championship. And right now we are looking at a Friday night. When and where is yet to be determined. But Friday night right now, CM Punk coming out of SummerSlam is looking at a WWE title program with Kevin Owens. I don't give a fuck what you do. I don't give a shit how you book it. I don't give a shit when it happens. You let those two men go out there and create. Do not stifle. Do not hold them back. Do not suppress. Let them go out there and do what they need to do. Kevin Owens dramatically changes the look of Friday Night SmackDown. Now all we need is Drew McIntyre back. CM Punk, Gunther, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes. Do you realize that SmackDown has the best main event scene in all of WWE right now? With both Randy Orton and Kevin Owens back on television, do you realize that they have the best main event scene in all of WWE? They may have the best main event scene in all of pro wrestling right now. And yet they're producing some of the worst television across all of pro wrestling on a weekly basis. How is that possible? Kevin Owens and Randy Orton are going to inject life into SmackDown that has been desperately needed for the last 8 months. Randy's been out since WrestleMania. Kevin Owens has been out for 18 months. We are very lucky that he is back, and we are very happy that he's back because he is legitimately a difference maker on any brand that he shows up on. And a lot of those men that I just mentioned are intertwined with each other, which is a blessing for WWE because when they are intertwined the way that they are, that creates very good television. It creates chaotic and unpredictable television. Kevin Owens has history with Sami Zayn, which has been very well documented. He also has history with Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. Orton and Cody have unfinished business coming out of WrestleMania. Sami is still chasing the WWE Championship because, once again, he was wrongfully fucked over. Gunther's been chasing the WWE Championship, and he's not letting go of that. Finn Balor is another one. I didn't even mention him. He wants redemption after 10 years. He said in the build to Sami Zayn, every time SummerSlam rolls around, I think back to 2016 and the fact that I had to win the WWE Universal Championship and give it up 24 hours later. You bring Drew McIntyre back into the fold. He's got history with Gunther. He's got history with KO. He's got history with Sami. He's got history with Cody. He's got history with Punk. You got a main event scene that is legitimately the best that WWE has seen in over a decade on Friday night. There's no excuse at that point. There's legitimately no excuse. That's must-see appointment television. If you can't write television with all those guys that I just mentioned back at the same time for a Friday night show at 2 hours, then maybe you shouldn't be in the position that you are writing television for WWE. Point blank, period. At that point, yes, it makes Raw the B show, Cornell. 100%. 100%. So Kevin Owens being back is a lot more important than people realize. You might not be thinking it now, but him being back on Friday night is going to be a catalyst for what that show genuinely could be. And I didn't even mention the women. Rhea Ripley's hurt right now. Rhea Ripley. Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair out, Naomi. I think Naomi will go to Raw. Blake Monroe, JC Jane. SmackDown Women's Division is better than the Raw Women's Division. All we need, really, is WWE to tighten up the tag team division after so many years of neglect. SmackDown could legitimately be the A show. What a comeback that would be. Chad Gable. Chad Gable chased the Intercontinental Championship 6 times. He's failed at winning the Intercontinental Championship. He beat Penta tonight in what I thought was a good match. Again, I'm disappointed. I'm not disappointed in the fact that the match they gave us was not good. The match was good. See, there's a difference between, and I know some people are watching me thinking that when I say that, oh, I hate everything, JD hates everything, JD's never happy with anything, blah, 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 blah. You should be demanding more. You should be wanting more. You should be exclaiming to everybody that you want and deserve more. Penta and Chad Gable deserved more. Chad Gable won the Intercontinental Championship tonight in a good match. Was it a pay-per-view? Was it a PLE? Sorry, a PLE-worthy match or a pay-per-view level match? No, it wasn't. If you think it is, then you have very low standards. That's not a pay-per-view level match to me. That match felt like a Monday Night Raw main event that was just lifted from Monday night and placed on a PLE, and they called it a PLE Intercontinental title match. What they did was good. They got the right outcome. Chad Gable won the Intercontinental Championship, and I can't hate on Chad Gable winning the Intercontinental Championship because the guy deserves it. We all love Chad Gable, and Chad Gable deserves that moment more than anybody on the roster. He's put in the work. Chad Gable's put in the work. Chad Gable was injured. He had to see his creation, El Grande Americano, go to somebody else. That somebody else is Ludwig Kaiser, who may or may not be the biggest star in all of Mexico. He got injured. Someone else took his gimmick, ran with it. He came back. And it might have been a little scary for him because he comes back and this guy is as hot as anything in the company. And Chad Gable once again has to find meaning in the WWE. But the story that he created before he had to give up the mask still existed. It was still there. That was something Ludwig Kaiser could not take away from him. In fact, Ludwig Kaiser actually helped the story along because their mask versus mask match was the best match in WWE all year, and it ended up being the catalyst for where we see Chad Gable now. It molded the Chad Gable character now. The reason why Chad Gable won the Intercontinental Championship is what happened in that match with Kaiser. It's because of that match with Kaiser we finally got Chad Gable to the height of winning the Intercontinental Championship. So it might have been a what the fuck situation. It might have looked bad when he got hurt. It might have looked bad that when he had to give up the mask and him coming back, he had no real direction. But he did. But he did. And now both Kaiser and Gable are at the top of their craft. That's what makes professional wrestling a beautiful thing. So a lot of that El Grande Americano, starting the gimmick, losing the gimmick, getting hurt, Kaiser taking it over, and then the mask versus mask match. Everything happens for a reason. Chelsea Green. There was a ladder match tonight that went 13 minutes. And I keep mentioning the match times for a very specific reason. The ladder match tonight was nothing memorable. It really wasn't anything memorable. There was maybe a spot or two that was great. Chelsea Green hanging upside down towards the end of the match and then pulling herself up after everybody was out on the outside. And then there was a powerbomb spot by Lash Legend on the second rope where she powerbombed Tiffany Stratton onto a ladder bridge that was wedged in between the second turnbuckle. Outside that, there was really nothing memorable about a match that included Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton, Chelsea Green, and two women's performers that are green as the fucking money in Danhausen's bag of monies. Chelsea Green won the interim championship. She's now the interim women's champion. I'm going to save my thoughts for when we review the match, but I think WWE made the right decision by belting Chelsea Green. They also made a decision that is very safe for them by belting Chelsea Green. Because Rhea Ripley, I'm assuming Rhea Ripley is going to be on her way back very soon. WWE's never going to let you know when. But right now they're running with Chelsea. It's a good move. And she got one of the biggest pops of the night. I guess Road Dogg was now vindicated. Road Dogg was one of the few guys that went to bat for Chelsea Green because he looked at her as one of the top talents in the division. Meanwhile, Michael Hayes went on publicly, whether it's how he genuinely feels or not, he went on WWE Unreal on Netflix, and he claimed that Chelsea Green would never be at the level of a Charlotte Flair or an Alexa Bliss or Jade Cargill. And then she's the type of woman that usually is put in those matches with those women to lose to those women. Somewhere Michael Hayes is probably punching air in his oversized suit. Good for Chelsea Green. She's now the interim champion. We'll talk about how I feel about that in a little bit. SummerSlam Night 2 was better than Night 1. It mirrored WrestleMania, where Night 2 was much better than Night 1. If I was to put both shows side by side, at the end of the day, I think the CM Punk Roman Reigns match was better than everything between both shows. To me, that's the best main roster match all year. Night 2 was better than Night 1 in both situations. But if I was to rate both shows and pick a show over the other, I would probably give the edge, it's like an eyelash hair, better than WrestleMania. SummerSlam was better than WrestleMania. There is a problem. And this is a discussion that I don't want anybody listening to me to take as a negative. I'm going to try my best to be a little positive tonight because I did have a more enjoyable time watching this show than I did last night. But there is a very, very, very serious problem in WWE that needs to be addressed. And no one in the media and no one publicly is going to ask Triple H or Nick Khan or anybody else why this is such a glaring issue. It is an issue that's staring you in the face. And I hate that I am resorting to such tactics because never in my life have I watched pro wrestling the way that I consume pro wrestling now as a creator. I want to watch pro wrestling and I want to sit and enjoy what I'm watching. I wish they told better stories. I wish they got me a little bit more excited and a little bit more interested in what they were doing. They haven't. But what I'm about to mention to you is a serious fucking problem. I want to go over what we got as far as tonight only. Last night, I would say, and to be fair, last night, some of the matches were given just about the right amount of time. It could have been a little bit longer. They could have added several minutes to some of the stuff they did last night. CM Punk and Cody Rhodes went 30 minutes. They went exactly 30 minutes and 10 seconds. Nick Aldis and Gunther went 11 minutes. I could have seen another maybe 4 minutes added to that. I said last night, Gunther and Rollins went 15 minutes, and they didn't have a story at WrestleMania. Gunther and Nick Aldis had a story, and they were only given 11 minutes and 40 seconds. LA Knight, Solo Sikoa, Royce Keys, The Bloodline, they went 11 minutes. Liv Morgan and Io Sky went 13 minutes and 35 seconds. That's fine. Another couple of minutes wouldn't have hurt them. The Fatal Influence 6-woman tag team match with the Bellas and Paige, 7 minutes. Oba Femi and Brock Lesnar went 11 minutes and 40 seconds. I still stick to my guns on that. Hell in a Cell was not needed. A no-holds barred match would have been a lot better for those guys to have that type of match. They didn't even use the structure at all. It was one of the worst Hell in a Cell matches in the company's history. Even though the match itself was better than the last two Oba and Brock matches, the fact that it was contested inside Hell in a Cell match makes it one of the worst Hell in a Cell matches in company history. Because the structure legitimately never once came into play. Never once did WWE build up any drama with the structure. It was just there for show and tell. We had two situations where the structure was shown on Monday and the structure was shown on Saturday, and in no situation did the structure come into play. In fact, they actually used the structure, believe it or not, sadly, on Monday more to tell a story than they actually did in the match. So you can't sit there on the other side of this camera and tell me that I hate everything when you know that I'm fucking right about the things that I usually complain about. Kevin Owens. Him and Gunther got added to a match between Sami Zayn, Finn Balor, making it a fatal four-way. The match went 8 minutes and 30 seconds, chat. 8 minutes and 30 seconds. A match that consisted of Kevin Owens, Gunther. Having Gunther in an 8-minute match is just fucking unreal to me. That alone is fucking, what the fuck? Kevin Owens, Gunther, who's one of the best pro wrestlers in the world. Sami Zayn, who's the most interesting character in the company. And Finn Balor. 8 minutes and 30 seconds. Baron Corbin. He won the United States Championship tonight against Trick Williams. 9 minutes and 5 seconds. 17 minutes and 35 seconds between both of these matches. Chat. The ladder match didn't get started until 6:58 p.m. Eastern Time. The women's ladder match was third. The bell rang at 6:58 Eastern Time. 17 minutes and 35 seconds of pro wrestling in the first hour of SummerSlam. I hate watching and consuming pro wrestling like this. But I can't help it because it's staring you right in the face. Why was there only 17 minutes and 35 seconds of actual pro wrestling, actual in-ring action in the first hour of a major PLE that is on the level of WrestleMania? Has anybody had a desire to ask that question to Triple H or anybody on the WWE post show? Has anybody in the media wanted to speak up and ask this very important question of why? The ladder match was the second longest match of the entire night. The ladder match was just as long as the women's match on Saturday. 13 minutes and 5 seconds. I have a problem with them doing a ladder match here because we're only going to go into Money in the Bank with another 6 or 8 women fighting over the briefcase. How are they going to make this match and that match differentiate from one another? Danhausen and Dominik Mysterio went 6 minutes and 49 seconds. The fact that this match was even on the show yet, Carmelo Hayes, Braun Breaker, and several others I won't name, can't find themselves on a SummerSlam card yet. We got to give SummerSlam this slop. Human Monies on a pole match is absolutely deplorable. 6 minutes and 49 seconds. 6 minutes and 49 seconds. That could have been added to the opening match, which absolutely should have went at least 15 minutes. This is where I have the biggest problem. Chad Gable and Penta. They went 11 minutes and 10 seconds. On what planet, on what pro wrestling show, anywhere in the world, are you going to look at Penta and you're going to look at Chad Gable and put them in a ring for a title, in this case, one of the most prestigious titles in all pro wrestling history, which is the WWE Intercontinental Championship. It means less now than it did then. But you can't neglect the history that the title brings. On what planet, on what show are you going to put Penta and Chad Gable in an Intercontinental Championship match and give them only 11 minutes? And then when Gable wins the championship, and Gable brings his mother and his father and his kids and his wife, and Penta's in there belting him around the waist with the Intercontinental Championship, and the man is trying to give a heartfelt speech to his hometown of Minneapolis, Minnesota, with tears in his eyes and blood pouring from his head because of a hard-fought match in 11 minutes with Penta. WWE has the fucking balls to give me a fucking mug root beer mascot jump in the ring and start handing Chad Gable cans of mug root beer, with Chad Gable needing to open 2 cans of mug root beer and pretend he's Stone Cold Steve Austin chugging Steve Weisers. And in this case, Chad Gable is chugging mug root beer. Out of every moment, out of any other time on these 2 nights where we were bombarded with ads, where we were given less pro wrestling, of all the times that you had to give me an advertisement, you needed to just plaster the mug root beer logo and the fucking mug root beer advertisement with a fucking mascot in the middle of the ring while this guy is winning his first singles title in his professional wrestling career. What the fuck are we doing? You don't hate this company enough. Get this guy out of the chat. You're a complete fucking Nimrod. You're a complete fucking retard. Get out of my fucking chat, Force Works. Force yourself to the fucking bench, you fucking idiot. You don't hate these people enough. Chat, do you realize that in 2 hours and 30 minutes, WWE for Night 2 of SummerSlam gave you less than 50 minutes of in-ring action? 2 hours and 30 minutes of SummerSlam before Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins hit the ring for their very long entrances and very long introduction, and then the bell rang. You do realize 48 minutes in a 2.5-hour pro wrestling show that is deemed the WrestleMania of the summer, a 2-night SummerSlam event, is absolutely 100% positively fucking deplorable. And I have to ask, why are these shows so short with the in-ring action? 17 minutes and 35 seconds in the first hour is all right to you. Oh, but I had a good time. I had a fun time, Jade. You had a fun time doing what? Watching fucking advertisements? You had a fun time doing what? Jerking off in the middle of the fucking advertisements while you got no pro wrestling? What exactly did you have fun doing? I would love for someone to genuinely answer the question, honestly. What the fuck did you have fun doing? 17 minutes and 35 seconds in the first hour is all right to you? And once again, I need to reiterate, I hate watching pro wrestling like this, but man, oh man, are they fucking... They're like slapping you in the face with it. You don't notice the matches ending short? You don't notice the matches not going longer when they really need to go longer? I'm watching Chad Gable and Penta, and I knew that the match was going to end when it ended because you started to see them. They almost skipped gears. They were in the go-home stretch about 6 minutes in. How do you consume pro wrestling like this? I'm watching them wrestle 6 minutes, and what they're doing at the 6 or 7 minute mark is what you should be giving me in the fucking 15, 16, 17 minute mark. How do you have enough time to tell a proper story? And the sad thing is they had story coming in. They had a whole story coming in. How do you have enough time to tell a story in 7 minutes, then go home and match ends in 11 minutes? The fact that that doesn't bother people is fucking very bizarre to me. Really. And the same thing happened at WrestleMania. It was actually worse at WrestleMania. It was worse on night one of WrestleMania. They followed the same blueprint. But people are going to look at this as the better show, and they're not going to look at WrestleMania and SummerSlam in the same vein. You knew it was going to end up the same way. The only difference is WWE shortened the ad breaks in between the matches. They were 4 minutes instead of being 7 minutes at WrestleMania. So to the fucking dummy out there, they felt less bombarded by ad breaks. But WWE didn't offset that by adding more pro wrestling to the show when they really should have added more pro wrestling to the show. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins went 33 minutes and 33 seconds. What a number that is, huh? Brother, Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins went just as long as every other match combined in overall match time. Again, I ask, what the fuck are we doing? Why is this a thing? Why is this the current direction of WWE? And why do these matches feel like they're never into full swing, never get into full gear? They just exist. With the entrances and theme music and the introductions, they went just as long as every other match on the show. It would probably equal out to be just the same. Because you know Roman's entrance is 10 minutes at least. And then Rollins had to come out and he got an extravagant entrance as well with the ring introductions. They didn't get started until maybe 45 minutes. Brother, this is a major problem. This is a major problem. Yes, they went 33 minutes, chat. Where WWE gives you nothing. AEW gives you too much. The differences between the shows, the differences between the companies, it is so opposite of each other. Where WWE gives you 48 minutes, 5 matches into SummerSlam on a 2.5 hour show up until the main event. Where the main event and everything that comes along with it is just as long as the overall match length of every other match combined. And AEW, every match is 25 minutes. What is going on in pro wrestling? One company gets way too much involved with pro wrestling, and the other, not nearly enough. Nowhere close to being enough. There's no in between. There's no middle ground. And again, I hate consuming pro wrestling like this, and I hate watching pro wrestling with a fucking stopwatch. I'm getting all my information from Wikipedia, by the way. This is all on Wikipedia. This is public information. I have to ask why. Why are the matches so short? Why are we giving everybody 48 minutes of pro wrestling on a 2.5 hour show before the main event and Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins hits the ring? Why? Night 1 was a little noticeable, but not as noticeable as night 2. I have to ask why. The weekly television shows, some of the matches on the weekly television shows are longer than the matches we get at the PLE. Why is that the case? Why? The television show should be the groundwork that leads to the pay-per-view, and when you get to the pay-per-view, those matches should be the matches that you give the most time to. Why are Cody and CM Punk, Roman and Seth going 63 minutes between both of their matches, and I got to sit here and watch Kevin Owens, Finn Balor, Sami Zayn, and Gunther go 8 minutes? Why do I have to watch Penta and Chad Gable go 11 minutes? Why do I have to watch Gunther and Nick Aldis go 11 minutes? Nobody finds that to be a problem? WWE doesn't do that on some of their B-level shows. Some of the B-level shows are better than the actual SummerSlams and the WrestleManias that we get. Because they'll book 5 or 6 matches, and then they'll book a 20-minute match in the middle of the card. But why aren't they doing that for a WrestleMania or a SummerSlam? Do they have a hard out? Do they have a hard exit? What's the rush? What is the rush? Why are you not giving fans what they are paying for? We come to watch the pro wrestling. And then you give me 48 minutes, tops, in 5 matches after 2.5 hours. That's inexcusable. It's inexcusable. How you people, I would be curious to know how you people who are there live experiencing this feel. Nobody's upset at that. Oh, but I had a good time throwing the ones in the air and watching Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins go 33 minutes. I got my money's worth for 2 nights. That's not the point. They are shortchanging you like a motherfucker, and nobody is speaking up about it. I can't get behind, and I will never get behind these short matches. It is so damaging to the overall show to see this. To see a Danhausen match on a show like this, where it didn't need to be on this. That could have easily existed on Friday Night SmackDown. We just got done with something like that at Saturday Night's main event. Now we got to do another match on SummerSlam. 8 minutes, 11 minutes, 9 minutes. I can't tell you how damaging that is. Everything feels rushed. They will give you a KO return. They'll go 8 minutes, and then we go into literally a 7-minute fucking ad break. 4 minutes of actual ads with a static screen saying we'll be right back, into another commercial, into Michael Cole shilling a movie or a drink or a fucking other sponsor, and then we get the actual match. 10 minutes later. How does anybody consume this and say, I had a good time? And my complaining about it will do nothing, because they'll do the same fucking thing come Survivor Series. Which is not yet a 2-night event, but soon will be. And so will the Royal Rumble, and so will Money in the Bank. Something needs to be done. Somebody in the media needs to ask Triple H why these matches are so short. And it's not because this is what we do. This is not what we should do. We should be better. We as fans should be getting better. WWE houses some of the best talent in the entire industry. And to see them go 11 minutes as far as Gable and Penta is an indictment on their talent. It is a slap in the face of both of those guys and the work that they can truly do. Why, as a pro wrestling promoter, would you want to suppress Chad Gable and Penta from going out there and giving us 20 minutes of a barn burner match that could easily be match of the year? Oh, but they can't do that because we can't have them take away from Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. This mentality of only one match can exist as the best, and we can't take away from our main event. We can't take away from our bread and butter. Brother, you should want fucking 6 matches out of 6, exactly like Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. That's what makes a great show. That's what makes us excited. That's what makes us want to watch more. That is what makes us fans of professional wrestling. WWE doesn't give a fuck about the fans. With 48 minutes and 5 matches, and Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins basically equaling everything else that came before it on night 2, it's inexcusable. I'm sorry, and I needed to get that off my chest because it's staring you right in the fucking face, and I'm not going to ignore that horrible, horrible feeling of watching this show with every match ending. I'm like, is that it? Why is it so short? Why did it go 8 minutes? Why did it go 9 minutes? Why is it this? Why is it that? It's staring you in the face. I cannot stay quiet on something like that. I can't. We're going to get into this show. We're going to talk about some of these outcomes, where they go, where they might not go, what WWE and Triple H needs to do with some of these outcomes. We're going to get into this show. Night 2 was better than Night 1, and this is your SummerSlam Night 2 2026 post show right here on Off the Script. It sucks, man. It really does. We had a great night last night. We had 5,400 people in this chat room last night. We got another 5,000 in here. 10,000 people across 2 nights of SummerSlam on OTS, man. I consider that a good weekend. We got a brand new week coming up. I'll be live tomorrow night for Monday Night Raw. Big Cass is returning to the company. What he will be doing, I don't know. I could see him and Obafemi getting into it almost immediately. They're going to have to feed somebody to Oba, because you know we ain't going after Roman Reigns. They ain't doing that before WrestleMania, though they should. Not everything needs to take place at WrestleMania. We got a big week coming up. Monday, I'll be live for Raw. Tuesday night, Titans. On Tuesday with the Solid Monster. We will have a lot to discuss. Tuesday morning with the coach on the 2 count on his YouTube channel, BTT Studios. 11:30 a.m. with the coach on Tuesday morning. And then we'll cover AEW on Wednesday with Jesse. Not much going on over there. But we got a big week of content coming up. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Go and check out all the content on the channel. Patreon is rocking and rolling. Thank you for the new patrons this morning. I appreciate all of you. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. Got a lot of cool stuff happening over there. Hit that thumbs up. We got 1,100 likes, man. There should be absolutely no doubt about it. 1,500 likes in the live stream chat. Easy. Easy. Super chats are open. Get them on. It's the best way to support the show. If you guys want to get your super chats in, I will read all your messages at the end of the show. Is there anything else I have to talk about? No? I think that's everything. Appreciate you guys very much. Oh, is Issa in the chat? Issa missed me glazing Roman Reigns about 15 minutes ago. Oh, there she is. Yes, we bigged up Roman Reigns, Issa. We talked about how great of a main event guy he is, and there's nobody more consistent than Roman Reigns in the entire business. Even though he wants to show up when he wants to show up and take 3 weeks off at a single time. You know, Roman Reigns, we can be frustrated with his scheduling and his lack of appearances on Monday night, but when the bell rings in a big main event segment, there's nobody better than Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns has this love-hate relationship with a lot of pro wrestling fans. You love him, you hate him. You're indifferent to him. Can't take it away from him. One of the best big match wrestlers in the business. Start things off at the top here. We will go right into what happens in the first match. Funny enough, SummerSlam started and 6:03, Finn Balor was out there making his in-ring entrance. So I appreciate them starting the show off. I mean, it's night 2. It's just that basically a continuation of night 1. There's no reason to prolong it. Finn Balor was out there as soon as 6:03 p.m. Eastern hit the clock. Finn Balor was out there making his introduction. Sami Zayn comes on out there. And we're about to get a number 1 contenders match between Sami Zayn and Finn Balor. And I'm excited about this because I'm a big Sami guy, as everybody knows. I defended him. I continue to defend him on weekly television. I think he got fucked over. Finn Balor is one of the best that the company's got on Friday night. Match between these two. Happy to see it, man. I thought it was going to be a banger. Probably given 8 minutes. But I thought both of these guys' styles would complement each other well. 2 black and golders here. Number 1 contender. Then we got Nick Aldis coming on out. He tried to quit being the general manager on WWE social media, he handed in a resignation letter to Triple H, who then ripped up that resignation letter and reinstated Nick Aldis as the GM of Friday Night SmackDown. This happened on the post show last night. Why did Triple H reinstate Nick Aldis? No explanation was given. Don't know why they didn't wait to do that on Friday night. Why they just didn't send Adam Pearce out there. So Nick Aldis is out there. He says that he's including Gunther in this number one contenders match. Again, something that doesn't really make any sense. Nick Aldis had all these problems with Gunther. He wanted to take care of Gunther. He wanted to teach Gunther a lesson. Then the next night he's out there. He's putting Gunther in a number one contender match for no reason. Why? The guy that you've been battling and the guy that's been disrespecting you and the guy that put his hands on WWE management beat you in a match last night, and then all of a sudden you grant him a number one contenders match? Bro, they didn't let this play out in any meaningful way, and it left a lot of people asking why. But I guess none of these little things matters to WWE. Matters to me, matters to you guys. I also don't really care that Gunther's wrestling 2 times in the same weekend. I mean, I'm never going to say no to that. But give me a good explanation as to why you're making a decision like that and why it's coming from Nick Aldis. And he shook hands with him. So was everything that they did now just forgotten? It's water under the bridge? Let bygones be bygones? Nick Aldis lets Gunther get into the ring. I thought we were done. I thought we were getting a triple threat match. I'm like, all right, this is better than a one-on-one match with Sami and Finn. Then Nick Aldis says, whoa. I'm not done. I'm not done. Did you think I was going to stop at Gunther? Now, Sami's already upset because Gunther just lessens his chances. Now he's got a 33.3% chance of winning this match. Nick Aldis says there's a 4th competitor here. Fans are chanting KO. They knew. Kevin Owens' music hits, and this place erupts. They went crazy. Kevin Owens comes on out. Camera was looking over at the fans. There were some people in attendance on camera tearing up and crying that Kevin Owens is back. Sami Zayn stood there and gave you yet another meme. He's standing there with his jaw legitimately on the floor. He cannot believe, like he's seen a ghost. Sami Zayn is looking at Kevin Owens walk down the aisle. He's back in WWE, shocked that his best friend and his greatest rival is now back in WWE on Friday night. Bro, this match, according to Wikipedia, like I said, went 8 minutes and 30 seconds. I could have watched these 4 guys go out there for another 15 minutes on top of the 8. Which, again, I asked, why? Why only 8 minutes? WWE's got so many agents and so many producers. If WWE is giving these matches the lengths that they are giving these matches, why do we need all those people employed by WWE to be an agent or producer? Sounds like 1 or 2 people can handle all this shit and go over all these matches if they're only going to be given 8 minutes and 9 minutes and 7 minutes and 6 minutes. Why the need for all those positions and why the need for all those jobs? I've never seen a company in my entire life not want their performers and not want their professional wrestlers to go out there and professionally wrestle in front of 35,000 fucking people. Sami Zayn, Finn Balor, Gunther, and Kevin Owens being given 8 minutes is a fucking travesty. It's a sin. Should never happen on any show, on any planet, for any company. Period. Owens went right after Gunther and Balor. Sami Zayn didn't move. He stood there frozen in shock. Owens, he took out Balor. He took out Gunther. Both with cannonballs. This guy's was a house on fire coming back. 18 months he's been out. Owens and Zayn then meet in the middle of the ring, and they hug, and the crowd erupts. So I guess he was happy to see him back, but he also didn't want to see him back because now his chance of winning this match and becoming the number one contender is only 25%. So they hugged, and then they started beating the shit out of each other, just like old times. Owens flattened Zayn with a senton. Sami, he goes out to the floor. He tries to catch a breath here. Owens then took out everybody by going to the top rope, and he took out all three guys with a big swanton dive off the top rope. Owens hit Gunther with another swanton in the ring as he had Gunther laying on his back. Owens went for the Stone Cold Stunner, so he's still using the move that Stone Cold has gifted to him, the Stunner. Gunther countered the Stunner into a sleeper. Sami Zayn and Balor broke that up. Gunther was in control. Gunther and Balor had an exchange here back and forth. Sling blade on Gunther and Sami Zayn. Shotgun drop kick. Zayn into Gunther. So everything is really picking up the pace. It was at a decent pace through all 8 minutes. I would have loved to see more of it. And it should have been more because it's a number one contender match. They should have really made it feel special with the winner getting CM Punk in the WWE Championship. Gunther hit Balor with another shotgun drop kick. He then powerbombed Balor, and he transitioned into a Boston Crab. Owens broke that up, and he starts stomping a Steve Austin mud hole into Gunther. Gunther then takes out Owens with a big boot. Owens no-sold it. He popped right up, and he took Gunther out with a clothesline. Balor, enziguri to Owens. He goes up top. He tries for his superplex. Owens countered that into his twisting fisherman suplex. Man, did I miss that. Zayn takes Owens, and he threw him outside, and he wanted to steal the pin on Balor off of Owens' hard work. Balor kicks out. Owens then goes up top for a swanton on Sami Zayn. Zayn got the knees up. Owens starts selling his neck, and that was what Michael Cole mentioned, that he was out 18 months, the reconstructed neck. So Zayn got the knees up. Sami tried for the haluva kick. Gunther cut him off. He went for a sleeper. Balor, he comes off the top with a double stomp. Now Gunther has got Sami laying down in the body scissors with the sleeper hold. Balor comes off top with a double stomp. He lands on Sami because Sami's in the sleeper. So Gunther rolls off of Sami. Balor goes to cover Sami. And Gunther, and I mean barely, broke up the count. I think Gunther was like a second late. Honestly. He was very late. He broke up the pin. They didn't show the replay of it, but I think this was a slight botch by Gunther. I think Gunther was just a tad bit early. So Owens, he gets up. He hits Gunther with a stunner. He went for another one on Sami, but Sami countered with a Blue Thunder Bomb, which is always a great move. You guys know I love the Blue Thunder Bomb. Kevin Owens is in the corner. He goes for the haluva kick, does Sami. Owens stopped that with a super kick. Stunner, and he pins Sami Zayn. Of course he does. Of course he's going to pin Sami Zayn. 1, 2, 3. Kevin Owens pins Sami Zayn. This continues the story of Sami Zayn and him finding justice towards the WWE Championship. He's getting screwed over every which way. And Kevin Owens is now the number one contender for the WWE Championship. As I mentioned before, and I'm going to reiterate it because this is a huge, huge deal. Kevin Owens returning is a lot more important than people may realize or may not realize. Him being back on Friday night is a difference maker. Kevin Owens is one of the best storytellers in the company. Kevin Owens is one of the most consistent guys in the company. And Kevin Owens is one of those guys that is going to make a main event feel like a genuine main event in every aspect, from in-ring to promo to what he does as far as building a story and tension and drama with whoever he's in the ring with. He's one of those guys that is a special, special character and someone that has garnered a lot of respect. And we love Kevin Owens. I am so glad that he's back. Now, we're looking at SmackDown, and I don't know how long it's going to take to fully rebuild SmackDown and reconstruct SmackDown as something decent or something respectable. Cody Rhodes and CM Punk are at the top of the card. Gunther is there. Sami's there. Balor's there. Now you're looking at Kevin Owens there. Randy Orton is back. McIntyre is not back yet, and he is a major, major deal himself. Balor. You got 9 guys. Trick Williams lost the United States Championship. He's going to be in discussion for a World Championship sooner rather than later. He may be the odds-on favorite now to win Money in the Bank. That's 10. WWE's got a great mid-card. Baron Corbin, Carmelo Hayes, Ilya Dragunov, Ricky Saints. The women's division. Look at the women's division. Rhea Ripley's out. She's at the top of the division. Bianca Belair's out. That's 2 all-stars. That is 2 all-stars, a part of your team out. Rhea, Bianca. Jordan Grace, where the fuck she is. She's on the back of a milk carton somewhere. I don't know what the fuck she did. WWE botched her completely. Blake Monroe is now on the main roster. Julie is there if she's ever going to do anything or amount to anything. Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, Jade Cargill, not a big fan. Lash Legend, not a big fan at all. Candice LeRae, B-Fab, Meechin. WWE's got a lot of great talent. JC Jane, Fallon Henley, Laney Reed. WWE has no excuses. No excuses on Friday night to create poor television the way that they have been with this roster. It's inexcusable. The tag team division needs help. Damian Priest and R-Truth are not a tag team. Get Damian Priest in the United States Championship division. Put him in there with a Corbin or a Hayes or a Trick Williams. Get him out of that tag team slot. Start rebuilding your tag teams. Call up some teams from NXT. Get some youth on the main roster on Friday night. Fraxium should be leading that division. What they do there, I don't know. I mean, I've been saying it for the last 10 years myself. Merge the tag team divisions and get the tag team divisions in a position where they are floating between Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. There's no reason why the women's tag team titles can show up on any show that they want, yet the men's tag team titles and the divisions have gotten so bad, they are absolutely fucking deplorable. There is no excuse to why the divisions are as bad as they are right now. That's an easy fix. I've been saying that for years, yet WWE's done nothing to rectify that. There's no excuse on Friday night. None. Kevin Owens being back is a major shot in the arm, one that WWE desperately needed. And Kevin Owens, Gunther, Finn Balor, and Sami Zayn on no fucking planet should be going 8 minutes. This match should have went at least 15 minutes, seeing what was on the line and a shot at CM Punk in the WWE Championship. Kevin Owens and CM Punk, we are ready. Let them go. And don't hold back. Comically, WWE needed, after this match was over, to throw it into another advertisement for Super Troopers 3. So the stars of Super Troopers 3 were all sitting front row and chugging beers for an advertisement for their movie coming up. Trick Williams defends the United States Championship against Baron Corbin. Trick Williams is going to be a future world champion. I think Trick Williams is still a little green. And I think Trick Williams doesn't really wrestle like a main event guy yet, so I wouldn't really rush him to the main roster. And that's just my opinion and my opinion only. You guys may think otherwise. I don't think he's ready. I don't. He held the title, the United States title, for over 100 days. Holding the United States title and having 2 defenses in that 100 days does not mean one is ready to now move up to battle for the WWE Championship. I think there is plenty of time to get him ready for a WWE Championship match. It doesn't need to happen this year. Not with the main event level talent that we have on Friday night. Trick Williams does not fit into that at all. Trick Williams belongs in the mid-card with Carmelo and Baron Corbin and Ricky Saints and Ilya Dragunov and Damian Priest and whoever else WWE wants to feature in that role. Johnny Gargano's laying on a crate. Where the fuck is Johnny Gargano? The talent that WWE has on Friday night is fucking massive. And yet they massively waste so much talent. He's not ready yet. I'm not a performer. I'm not a wrestler. I'm a commentator. I don't know what it is to wrestle. I don't know what it is to be in the ring. But what I do best is I analyze. And what I do best is watch and observe. I know a good talent from a bad talent. I know a good story from a bad story. I know someone who's ready and someone who's not ready. Why rush? Because I already start seeing the murmurs and the whispers. Oh, Trick Williams, Money in the Bank. Trick Williams, WWE champion. He's not ready. He's got everything to be that. He's got the entrance. He's got the promo. He's got the aura. If you can't put together a main event match on the main roster, you're not ready. Has Trick Williams blown you away with what he's done on the main roster? I don't even know what his best match was. What was his best match? Sami Zayn? Carmelo Hayes? Not surprising if it's Carmelo, because Carmelo had a string of great matches in the first 4 months of the year. Trick is not ready. He is very much still a baby. Yes. Very much still a baby. Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin didn't really do much of anything when he was with WWE last. And that's not his fault. That's not his fault. I don't really understand what WWE wants to get out of the NXT system. Do they want to breed new stars with the NXT system and get them ready for the main roster? Do they want to send some people that they may not be using down there to work on some things to really gotta give them a new lease on life, a second wind per se? And then maybe get called back up when they develop something new and fresh for themselves? Baron Corbin did just that. Where he did nothing on the main roster. He went from Sad Corbin to Happy Corbin, Constable Corbin, King Corbin. I don't know how many versions of Baron Corbin there were, but none of them were really all that interesting. He was always a decent in-ring performer, and he always got decent heat as a heel. But they didn't really do anything with him. Then they sent him down to NXT to go find himself. They weren't really doing much with him. They sent him down to NXT. He found himself. The Lone Wolf was reborn. They gave him his old music. They gave him his old entrance. He ended up forming a team with Braun Breaker. They were known as the Wolf Dogs. He had a great run as tag team champions. Baron Corbin looked like he was reborn again. Baron Corbin looked like he was having fun again. Baron Corbin actually looked younger working with Braun Breaker than any other point in his career. Baron Corbin was also looked at very differently in the eyes of the fans because of who he was tagging with. I had a lot of people that I work with tell me, "Oh, that would have never been a thing on the main roster. Well, the Wolf Dogs was never going to be a thing. It should have been. It should have been. Because it was popular in NXT, there's no doubt about it that it would have been just as popular, if not more, on the main roster. But WWE shuns tag team wrestling. They call Corbin back up after all that hard work he did. He was even trying to transform himself into a main event guy. He worked some matches with Hayes, and he worked some matches with Dragunov. Which, funny enough, he's now hopefully working with Dragunov when we get him back to television. But, I mean, Carmelo Hayes already tweeted out Baron Corbin today that he's going to come for the kill shot. He's coming for his United States title. They have a history in NXT. Baron Corbin he got called up to the main roster and they did nothing with him. I think the most that they did with him is put him in a tag team with Apollo Crews, which could have worked if you gave them time to get over, but you send the guy down to NXT and you let him do what he's got to do down there to ultimately call him up and then once again, do nothing with him? What is the point of NXT? Now they're doing the same thing with Grayson Waller. The reason why Grayson Waller cut that promo on Tuesday, which was good, everybody made it out to be like a CM Punk-like pipe bomb. I mean, it was good. I mean, we were live on TNT. Jason and I were live on TNT, and we listened to everybody. Oh, you got to watch this Grayson Waller promo. You got to watch this Grayson Waller promo. All right, fine, I did. As soon as TNT ended on Tuesday, I did. I wasn't blown away. All I saw was a guy that WWE's not using, who called his ex-tag team partner, the Marty Jannetty of his tag team. Funny enough, that Marty Jannetty is now a tag team champion, and Grayson Waller is more like the Jannetty, who may be closer to a 90-day non-compete than he realizes. So now he's back down in NXT. What are they going to do with Grayson Waller? They're going to let Grayson Waller grow and flourish as a main event guy down there to do what? Call him back up and then not use him again? What is the point of NXT? My point is, WWE released Baron Corbin. He's now back in WWE after a year and a half. This is his first match back. And WWE didn't do the groundwork to, again, make us care about Baron Corbin. They had him come out and interfere in Carmelo and Trick Williams a couple weeks ago, non-title match on SmackDown. They didn't really tell us why he's back. They didn't tell us why he's going after Trick and Melo. They didn't tell us why he's going after the United States title. Nothing. He just showed up. Then they make this match for SummerSlam, and then when people are quiet and people are showing no interest and people are complaining about end this, get it over with, move on, blah, 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 there's no heat. It's not Baron Corbin's fault. It's not Trick Williams' fault. It's WWE's fault. I don't understand why you put Baron Corbin once again back in that situation. This match was better served for Friday Night SmackDown. This did not feel like a SummerSlam match. This did not feel like a PLE match, period. Yet here we are. This didn't really do anything for me. Corbin hits a deep six early in the match on the floor. He's got a great offensive moveset. Corbin threw Williams into the barricade, into the steel steps, into the ring post. Back in the ring. He's punching away at Trick. Corbin continuing to punch away at Williams. The fight goes back outside. Lil Yachty gets in Baron Corbin's face. He got shoved. Lil Yachty chases Corbin back into the ring with a kendo stick. Back in the ring, Williams took over. He's gotten some offense strung together here. Leg lariat, a bookend. Corbin escaped a fireman's carry. He rakes the eye at Trick Williams. Yachty hits Corbin in the back as he's running the ropes with his kendo stick. Now, the sound of the kendo stick was so loud that the referee heard exactly what had happened. Yet Michael Cole is telling us the referee didn't see it. He was not fully turned around, so he partially saw what happened. And the referee is not deaf, so he absolutely heard that a kendo stick was smashed across someone's back. This looked ridiculous. So Lil Yachty hits him with the kendo stick. Williams dropped Corbin with a Death Valley driver. He gets a 2 count. Corbin went for the end of days. Trick Williams flipped through, hits a scissor kick. Corbin comes back. He moves out of the way of a trick shot by Trick Williams, and he goes out to the floor. Corbin grabbed the United States title, but Lil Yachty was there to grab it back from Corbin. Corbin pulled Yachty up to the apron. So now they're playing tug of war with the title. Williams comes to save Lil Yachty, but ends up knocking him off the apron accidentally. And Lil Yachty goes through a Slim Jim table that was set up earlier in the match. Why the table was set up, I don't know. Nobody had a problem with this. I was thinking that this was made into a no DQ match during the pre-show. Clearly it was not. It was still a one-on-one match, standard United States Championship match. I don't know why the table was out there. I don't really understand it. So Lil Yachty goes through the table. Trick Williams is looking down at Lil Yachty. He turns around, end of days, which is still the best finish in WWE. 1, 2, 3, Baron Corbin wins the United States Championship in 9 minutes and 5 seconds. Baron Corbin's holding up the fuzzy title, which looks weird. Fireworks are going off on the stage. He's now the new United States Champion. So WWE gives Trick Williams his new branded Tricky title, furry title. And as soon as they give him this new branded title, they take it right from him and put it on Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin's not going to be carrying around a fuzzy title. They'll probably go back to the old United States Championship title design, the one previous. WWE put this thing on sale for $7.99 on WWE Shop. It won't be shipping out till Christmas time, so they wanted you to see it firsthand, what it looks like, and then they sold a bunch of titles only to take it off Trick Williams, so they got your money. Suckers. Every single one of you guys are suckers who bought that title. Baron Corbin as United States Champion, does it excite you? The answer is no. It could. It could. If they let this guy in the ring and actually explain why he's back, why he's going after the United States title, what his mission statement is, why he attacked Trick, why he attacked Mello, what he wants to accomplish. Maybe they'll do that on Friday. But this guy's been back for about a month now. 3 weeks to a month now. Something like that, that footwork should have already been implemented. Why did this match have no heat, chat? Because there was no story. Why did this match fall flat? Why did this match feel flat? Because there was no heat. Because there was no story. Crowd is going to reciprocate what you give back to them. You give them nothing, you're going to get nothing. And that's not fair to Trick, and that's not fair to Corbin, who's back to make a difference, back to make things better, back to make his second run better than the first, and WWE is not really doing much for Baron Corbin. That's not right. Trick Williams. I'll say it once, and I'm going to say it again. I'm going to continue saying he's not ready for the World Championship. Though, right now, with him losing the championship, I could see him once again chasing the championship. I mean, the way that they set it up and the way that the match ended, it sets up that he could eventually go back after the United States Championship. It would be dumb for WWE to not give us a full story of Trick and Mello. But Trick Williams now, his name is going to be in the discussion for Money in the Bank. I would not give Trick Williams Money in the Bank. That's just why. I know some people may be laughing at me. This company needs a shot in the arm. This company needs something, bro. They need something. They need to do something different that's going to take them out of their comfort zone. They are going to need to do something that is going to get people talking. Right now, this company has really nothing for fans to talk about. I am making, this is not really a prediction. This is what I would do. This is what I would do. I know this has been talked about for years, year over year over year over year. If you don't do it this year, it's never going to happen. Triple H said last night at a press conference for SummerSlam that unless you are over in the eyes of the fans and over in the eyes of management, if you are like a Cody and a Roman or a Punk, those are the guys that are going to get pushed. You got to want it like those guys. You got to be at that level to get pushed. His name is LA Knight. I mean, when Triple H wants to speak dumb, when he wants to say something stupid like that, the first name that pops into everybody's mind and comes off everybody's lips is LA Knight. LA Knight should win Money in the Bank. And LA Knight should cash in on Roman Reigns and win the World Heavyweight Championship. I'm not asking for a long reign. I'm not asking for a fucking 100, 200-day reign from LA Knight. I'm asking for a month. I'm asking for a month. If you can't trust LA Knight for a month, I don't know what the fuck we're doing here. If you can't show and reward LA Knight for doing everything he needs to do and maintaining popularity, maintaining momentum, and maintaining that main event level feel for a guy who has been suppressed, I don't know what the fuck we're doing. Nobody's here for another 1,000-day Roman Reigns title run. He's going to eventually drop it to Obafemi. You cannot keep those guys apart for too long. So why not do LA Knight and Roman Reigns in a situation where LA Knight wins the Money in the Bank briefcase, and as a story going into Survivor Series, why not have that be the catalyst to set off the Roman Reigns bloodline war against whomever they're going to be feuding with going into War Games? Pro wrestling is best when you want to be unpredictable. Pro wrestling is best when you give something to the fans that they're not expecting. That's what I would do. Solo Sikoa and LA Knight for a tag team? Why are we putting people together that aren't real tag teams? How is that going to play into the Bloodline story? I said what I said. He's gone, Hooligram. Don't worry, Hooligram. He's gone. Whoever his name is in the chat, M. Heaton, he's gone. He is absolutely gone. People come in here and then, you know, the funny thing about my chat is the reason why I have it set to you can only chat after 2 weeks of being subscribed is because it limits the trolls. So you're subscribed to my channel, and then you have to wait 2 weeks of being subscribed to actually chat in here, and then that's what you say in the chat. You want to be disrespectful, and you want to call me names, and you want to say this, and you want to say that. Goodbye. You waited 2 weeks to subscribe to a person that you have absolutely no interest in subscribing to, and then you act like a dick in the chat. And then you wonder why you're gone. And then you'll go to social media and claim that JD is soft and JD can't take criticism, but when you're in my chat, you're disrespecting me, calling me all sorts of names. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Baron Corbin is the United States champion. We'll see what WWE does to follow that up. I'm not really overly excited here, nor do I trust WWE to do anything to get Baron Corbin to where he needs to be. Chelsea Green. She, alongside Charlotte Flair, Jade Cargill, Tiffany Stratton, and Lash Legend, battle for second place. Battle for the interim WWE Women's Championship. The interim championship nonsense is garbage. WWE tonight said Rhea Ripley is out indefinitely. I mean, if you're using terms like indefinitely, maybe we should have just stripped Rhea Ripley of the Women's Championship, but WWE can't do that to Rhea Ripley because Rhea Ripley, you know, everybody loves Rhea Ripley. They can't part with their precious Rhea Ripley. We can't do anything to take away from our precious Rhea Ripley. Whether or not there's favoritism involved or taking the title from Rhea Ripley would really throw a monkey wrench into their plans, I don't know. I can't imagine that she's going to be out too much longer with Chelsea Green holding the championship, which I'll get into in a second. This ladder match was a complete fail. There's nothing about the women's division on either show that is captivating or interesting, and some of it is the worst shit on television. WWE has lost their way when it comes to the women's division. They have really dropped the ball creatively in both divisions. I was pulling for Charlotte Flair here because she's the biggest name in this division. Without Bianca and Rhea and Alexa supposedly out, Charlotte is the biggest name in the division. And I think Charlotte's done a good job to rebuild her credibility and rebuild herself in the eyes of the fans, where I'm a part of that. Looked at Charlotte as, can we get someone different at the fucking top of the card, not named Charlotte Flair? I mean, for Christ's sakes, the woman is a 14-time women's champion. And there's nothing about any of those 14 title reigns that I remember or stand out to me as memorable. She's done a very good job as a babyface. So I, who have given Charlotte a very hard time creatively, asking why, am now in a position to see the work that she's done as a babyface and say, where we are right now, Charlotte is the woman to lead this division. It just makes sense. You get a match with Jade out of it. Maybe you build something with Alexa going heel and maybe turning on Charlotte. And then you got that Charlotte Rhea Ripley match, which a few years ago ended up being one of the best WrestleMania matches in company history, one of the best women's matches in company history. WWE didn't go Charlotte. WWE didn't go Jade. Thank God WWE didn't go Lash Legend. Tiffany Stratton wasn't going to win the women's championship tonight because she's the United States champion. Why she was even there to begin with when JC Jane was right there, who probably would have had a great performance tonight because she's someone that goes in there and just wrestles. Why Tiffany was there? The Minneapolis thing. They needed to feature her on the card. Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green wins second place. Chelsea Green is the interim women's champion on Friday Night SmackDown. Crowd went crazy for this. This was one of the biggest pops, not only of night two, but all weekend. So Jade goes immediately after Charlotte. This was supposed to be a number one match, or a one-on-one match, rather. This was supposed to be a one-on-one match between Jade and Charlotte if Rhea wasn't injured. They just absolved that feud into this match. So Jade went after Charlotte on the floor as soon as the bell rang. Again, 6:58, the bell rang. We got 17 minutes and 35 seconds of actual in-ring action between the first two matches. Not good. So they go at it. Stratton tried for a Hurricanrana on Lash Legend. She powerbombed her onto a standing ladder outside. Chelsea Green dove at Lash, and she chokeslammed her into the standing ladder. Charlotte and Lash square off in the ring. Legend slammed Flair onto the ladder. Jade, she gets in there, and she stops Lash from setting up a ladder. They team up for a little bit to take care of Chelsea Green and Tiffany Stratton. Cargill then takes Lash out with a suplex. Charlotte comes off the top with a big crossbody. Lash dumped Flair outside and then went up to set a ladder in the ring. Stratton dropped Cargill with a code breaker. Charlotte and Stratton squared off one-on-one. They have some history going back to WrestleMania, which ended with Tiffany going into the ladder face first. Chelsea comes in. Drop kick to Charlotte. She tries to climb the ladder. Jade cuts her off and gives her Jaded into the ladder, which did not look very good at all. Not like a devastating move, but it just didn't look good executed. So Jade goes up to climb the ladder. Tiffany's there to bring her down. Tiffany hit Jade with a backstabber off the ladder. She started to climb. Flair gets in there. She catches up to Tiffany. Lash brings in another ladder. Tiffany is kind of in between Legend and the turnbuckles and the ladder. So Tiffany then tries for a Hurricanrana. Lash ended up power bombing the ladder. Let me go back. She puts the ladder on the second turnbuckle. Does Tiffany Stratton. That's what she did. She sandwiched the ladder in between the second turnbuckle, the ropes. She placed it on the ropes. Lash is already on the top rope, so Tiffany climbs on top of the ladder to climb on top of the top rope with Lash, and Lash ended up power bombing Tiffany on the ladder, which probably was the best spot of the whole match because the impact that Tiffany made coming down on the ladder via the power bomb and bouncing off the ladder looked very good. So Tiffany ended up taking a big bump here. Charlotte climbs the ladder that's in the middle of the ring, and she got to the belt, and she's hanging from the rung of the belt where the title's holding or being held on up above the ring. Stratton hit Cargill with a where am I here? Charlotte climbed the ladder to get the belt. Cargill pulls the ladder away, and Charlotte's just hanging up on the rung of the thing that's holding the belt. So Charlotte's hanging there. Jade and Lash pull Flair down. Jade threw Flair into Lash. Lash responded with a big pump kick. So Lash then starts to climb the ladder. Tiffany gets onto the other side of the ladder. Lash comes in, grabs Tiffany for a power bomb. Tiffany countered with a Hurricanrana into the ladder. Stratton then starts to climb the ladder. Chelsea tipped the ladder over with Tiffany on it. Stratton goes over the top and crashes onto all three other women on the floor. Now, Lash Legend, I believe, I looked at Lash Legend on the outside. It almost looked like Lash ran over to where this pile of bodies was about to fall, and she ended up joining everybody in this big spot with Chelsea dumping Tiffany over the top rope and landing onto everybody. It looked fucking comical. Like she was on the opposite side of the ring and ran over to make sure that she was one of the three bodies that were in this pile of bodies after Tiffany was dumped off the ladder over the top rope. It looked fucking ridiculous. It looked ridiculous. So everybody's taken out. So Chelsea's about to climb. She's about to win the title. Out comes B-Fab and Michin. They run in, helping Jade. They hung Chelsea Green upside down in the ladder while Jade and the baddies, they're out there trying to help Jade win. They help her climb the ladder. Flair dumps B-Fab and Michin. Flair climbed up. Crowd wanted Chelsea. Flair and Jade fight on top of the ladder in what was just a very stereotypical and forced spot. There was nothing really dramatic about it whatsoever. They both come crashing down. So everybody's down. You got the ladies down on the outside. Jade and Charlotte are down in the ring. Chelsea's still hanging upside down. She pulls herself up. She does a sit-up, hanging upside down. She's in a tree of woe, basically, in the ladder rung. Pulls herself up, climbs the ladder, grabs the title. And Chelsea Green is the new interim women's champion. She wins the title in about 13 minutes. The actual time was 13 minutes and 5 seconds. There was nothing special about this match at all. Why this match was given ladder match treatment when we have Money in the Bank legitimately in October, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know why we need 2 ladder matches in a span of 2 months. This one didn't really do anything to show us WWE is in a position to book ladder matches in a meaningful way. It's another match concept in all of pro wrestling that has just been watered down to a point where I don't really give a fuck about watching or seeing ladder matches anymore. Chelsea Green winning the championship is a great moment. Fuck Michael Hayes. And Road Dogg is vindicated. Because he was the one that went to bat for Chelsea And he wanted to put the United States Championship back on her when we were watching last season of Unreal. But Triple H said, well, we can put the belt on Chelsea, but who does she defend the title against? Everybody that's in the division she's already had a program with. Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that, Paul? Whose fault is it that the division at that time was fucking deplorable? It was so bad. And these people have all the resources in the world to fix their existing problems, yet refuse to do so. There are so many people in this community, from Road Dogg to Coachman to Vince Russo, and a lot of the fans who have publicly came out in defense of Chelsea Green, saying WWE booking Chelsea Green as a mid-card comedy act on Friday Night SmackDown is beneath her. Now she's the interim women's champion. It's a great move. It's a great moment because we know how hard Chelsea Green has worked. We also see what WWE is doing with Matt Cardona, who could also fit into the mid-card title scene on Friday Night SmackDown. Yet WWE has refused to do anything with the returning Matt Cardona, who is one of the most popular, most highest-paid independent professional wrestlers for the last 6 years. And they get him and then opt to do nothing with him. So I'm assuming that household is very happy. And I know Chelsea knows how hard it is, and I know Matt knows how hard it is to get any traction with WWE nowadays. So to see Chelsea get what she got tonight, it's a great moment. But now the problem. I'm not saying you can't enjoy it. I'm just saying that be careful what you are happy for, because this is very, very, very temporary. Do you expect WWE? Do you expect Triple H to now all of a sudden crown Chelsea Green as the interim women's champion on Friday Night SmackDown and then all of a sudden start booking her in a meaningful way? Do you expect Triple H to now all of a sudden book Chelsea Green like the next Charlotte Flair or the next Rhea Ripley or the next Bianca Belair or the next Tiffany Stratton? I doubt she even defends the fucking championship. It'll be around her waist in a backstage segment, and they'll probably end up feuding Chelsea and Tiffany Stratton based on what happened tonight, which will then belittle the United States Championship because Chelsea has the World Championship, Tiffany has the United States Championship, yet Tiffany doesn't want to do anything but go after the world title and not defend her United States title. Where are they actually going to go with Chelsea Green? I don't expect them to do much of anything. But the fucked up thing is, Chelsea Green is a great professional wrestler when you allow her to be a professional wrestler. You want Chelsea to go in there 10 to 15 minutes and give you a great match? We've seen it. Not in WWE, but we've seen it. Let her go. If there is any other time that you've seen Chelsea Green on WWE television, this should be the time to set her apart from the old Chelsea Green. The comedy and the fucking stupid stable that she was a part of. This is the time now to create a new star. She's already got the fan support. She's already got the momentum of this win behind her. Create a new star. Michael Hayes was quoted saying that Chelsea's not looked at as the woman that we're going to stand next to Charlotte Flair and a Rhea Ripley. She's a woman that we put in a position to lose to those type of women. That's the mentality that has fucking deteriorated this entire creative. That's something that they need to drain from the company. That mentality is fucking absolutely disgusting. You should be in the business of creating the next Charlotte Flair and the next Rhea Ripley and taking talents to build them up to stand next to Rhea Ripley and stand next to Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair and Tiffany Stratton and anybody else that you feel is at that level. So why not start now with Chelsea Green? Sounds good coming out of my mouth. The fucked up thing is, this administration has done nothing to earn your trust. This administration has done nothing to create any new captivating superstars, and they've suppressed a lot of talent, given talent no time, no opportunity to fucking showcase what they can do. Terrible comments from Triple H back last night on the post-show media scrum. Do you expect him to take Chelsea Green and put her in a position where she's going to all of a sudden now become the biggest and best wrestler in the women's division now because she's the interim champion? The reason why she won the championship is because they have no plans to take the belt off Rhea Ripley. And when that match eventually comes, I'll be surprised if Chelsea Green is even still the interim champion at that point. But whoever the next champion is, if it's not Chelsea, will be just like Chelsea. They are going to be someone who WWE looks at as less than, that they can put into a match with Rhea Ripley so that Rhea Ripley can beat, so that they can move on and forget this injury and this ladder match and this interim title ever existed. Tell me when I'm telling lies. The reason why Chelsea Green won is because it's an innocent, easy victory for Rhea Ripley. And it's no sweat off their back for WWE Creative because it's not Rhea Ripley, or it's not Charlotte Flair, or it's not Tiffany Stratton, or Bianca Belair. Chelsea Green is beneath all those names. So they took Chelsea Green, gave her a moment, gave her a thank you for your services. Now drop the title back to Rhea because we had no real plans for you to be a women's champion to begin with. Thanks for coming. That's the way this company operates, chat. I didn't have to tell you. Just watch the weekly television shows. Watch the way that they book. See the weeks of television that have made you angry with the way that they book creatively. I'm just reminding you. I'm not really telling you any new information. You've already seen it with your own eyes. I'm just reaffirming the fact that this company cannot be trusted. Excuse me, I can't fucking breathe, and I got to do my name. All of a sudden, I got stuffed. Still can't get over this fucking cold I had last week. Moving on. Danhausen. One-on-one match with Rey Mysterio's son, Dominik Mysterio. And the reason why I say Rey Mysterio's son in describing this match is because this is Rey Mysterio's son. Rey Mysterio, the most popular and greatest luchador in the history of Lucha Libre. Here in the United States, anyway. Hall of Famer. Legend. His son is the AAA Mega Champion. Dominik Mysterio is the world champion. He's the world champion of AAA. And he works with The Undertaker. He works with Mark Calloway, who is the head guy. He is the head of creative, along with Jeremy Borash and Conan and whomever else is working AAA. They lead the creative department. He's the AAA Mega Champion. You watch Dominik Mysterio on AAA television, and then you watch Dominik Mysterio on Triple H's WWE main roster television, you are watching two completely different Dominik Mysterios. One is serious. One is a heel. One's getting heat. One's being treated like a top guy. Dominic ain't ready for a top spot either. He's basically being utilized for his genuine heel heat reaction. You're watching two different Dominik Mysterios. On the main roster, he's booked like a comedy joke. On the main roster, he's being booked in a storyline with a fucking comedy vampire who goes around cursing people and cursing teams and sports leagues and sells ice cream and now has apparently Danhausen human monies on WWEshop.com that you can go out and buy your own Danhausen monies. Masks and capes and fucking teeth and all this other shit that WWE willed into existence after 5 months of bringing this guy to television. Dominik Mysterio on the main roster is a jobber. He's a jobber. You might not think it, you might not say it, but I'll say it for you. Dominic is a jobber. Wherever The Undertaker may be tonight, he's probably fucking cursing at his wife somewhere, saying Triple H is a fucking half-witted asshole. How could he take my world champion and embarrass him in such a way on the main roster, yet I have to watch this kid on my show actually legitimately carry himself like a heel and a champion so that we could drop the belt to El Grande Marcano when Triple Mania comes around? Dominik Mysterio 2 years ago was the hottest heel, the biggest heel in all of WWE. Whether it was a genuine reaction or not, some of the people in attendance at those shows said it was a genuine reaction. Did WWE over-embellish on it and kind of dub the sound a little bit to make it sound more than? Yes, they did. Yes, they did. But Dominic was all over the place. He was with Rhea. He was with Liv. They played it out at SummerSlam. It was a big deal. Judgment Day was a big deal. Story with Finn and Damian Priest. It was a big deal. He felt like he was a part of the show in a major, major, major way. Now I look at Dominik Mysterio and I see Judgment Day and I see J.D. McDonough and I turn away in disgust. Danhausen, he's one of the worst things about WWE television. The WWE has completely overexposed Danhausen to a point where it's not even funny anymore. And they've overexposed Danhausen to a point where every appearance by Danhausen, whether it's 30 seconds or 3 minutes, makes the show actively worse every single week. And now they've lumped Joe Hendry into this and have ruined everything cool about Joe Hendry. Everything good about Joe Hendry is now gone. I don't believe in Joe Hendry anymore because he's been hanging around with Danhausen. Judgment Day wanted to give Danhausen money so that he could curse Obafemi in the semifinals of the King of the Ring because he had a semifinal match with Dominik Mysterio. Danhausen took the money, never cursed Oba, and Oba beat Dominic in about 3 minutes. From that point on, he was Dominic and J.D. McDonough. We're looking for Danhausen and the money. Danhausen had spent the money. He bought all new laboratory equipment. He's doing scientific experiments. Then they infiltrate his laboratory, and this is around the time when he got really hot with the New York Knicks, and he's cursing the fucking Spurs, and he's uncursed the Knicks, or whatever the fucking case may be. They took his special Danhausen Knicks jersey. They destroyed his laboratory. They built a whole Saturday Night's Main Event around this fucking geek. They had Karl Anthony Towns come and save Danhausen and take out the Judgment Day. Triple H then booked Danhausen and Dominik Mysterio in a match at SummerSlam in a human monies on a pole match. Chat, I'm going to leave it up to you. There's probably way too many names that I will probably end up forgetting. Can you tell me a list of people that did not make SummerSlam, but they gave Danhausen a match? I know Braun Breaker's one of them. Going to lump Austin Theory into that. There was no tag team title matches across any of these 2 nights with 2 sets of tag team titles, which says a lot about the fucking current state of the tag team division. So I'm going to put Austin Theory in that discussion. No Braun Breaker, no Austin Theory, no Ilya Dragunov, no Jordan Grace, no Carmelo Hayes. Who else in a prominent way that's on the show weekly was bypassed? Not given a SummerSlam match, but Danhausen was given a SummerSlam match. Kiana James, Roxanne Perez, Bayley, Sol Ruca, Raquel Rodriguez, Blake Monroe, Lyra Valkyria, Damian Priest, Johnny Gargano, Logan Paul. These names, whether you like them or not, every one of those names should have been given first-hand treatment creatively. And as far as getting on SummerSlam, should have always been ahead of Danhausen. My rant on Danhausen went so viral, 800,000 views on TikTok alone, another 150,000 on Instagram. We're nearing 1 million views for my Danhausen rant. Get this guy off of fucking television. You've completely jumped the shark with this shit. It's not funny. It's not entertaining. I don't give a fuck about Danhausen in any meaningful way at all. I don't find him funny. I found him funny maybe once or twice. I do not find it funny anymore. I find it very ridiculous. And I would legitimately want to watch anybody else but Danhausen. I don't give a shit if your kids like it. I don't give a shit if your friends' kids like it. I don't give a shit if your unborn children are fans of Danhausen. Get it the fuck off of television. Minimize this guy's role to a point where he's not in the ring wrestling. Triple H should be fucking embarrassed. The AAA Mega Champion is at your disposal in a match with Danhausen, and you bury The Undertaker's top guy on AAA. Does anybody have a logical reason as to why? Or does AAA not exist in the eyes of the main roster? That doesn't stop you from using their fucking talent. That doesn't stop you from using their championships to fucking peddle some bullshit on Friday Night SmackDown that nobody gives a fuck about. Ray Phoenix can't find himself on Friday Night SmackDown without the fucking AAA Cruiserweight Championship. You want to treat The Undertaker's top guy in that way, yet you want to fucking go out there and give Ray Phoenix open challenges every week for the AAA Cruiserweight Championship. You want to feature the Tag Team Championships in the War Raiders on Friday night. Yet you want Dominic as the AAA Mega Champion to lay down for a fucking guy who should be selling Halloween costumes at Spirit of Halloween every fucking October. The WWE is so blinded by financial success that they don't realize that they're actively ruining the fucking show. And all I hear is stop watching. All I hear is, oh, he's selling t-shirts and he's making money. All I hear is, oh, it's for the kids. The fact that this shit made the show is fucking deplorable. The fact that Dominik Mysterio is selling for this shit is fucking deplorable. The fact that you left all that talent that I just mentioned and my chat mentioned off the show for this fucking guy is deplorable. This match went 6 minutes and 49 seconds. Danhausen wins back the human monies. Why? J.D. McDonough came out to help Dominik Mysterio. He ended up being treated like a geek, too. All of a sudden, El Torito, who they call Toritohausen, got offense on J.D. McDonough. The Minihausens all come out and now all of a sudden start to climb the pole. They tried to, this was like a clown car. It was like a circus. They're all climbing on top of one another to try and grab the human monies in this bag. Dominik Mysterio comes in and beats up the Minihausens. El Torito sent Mysterio out to the floor with a Hurricanrana, and then he follows that up with a suicide dive. Danhausen tried to go for the money. McDonough cut him off with a headbutt. All of a sudden we hear, I believe in Joe Hendry. Nobody said his name. He comes on out, further diminishing his role on WWE television as the fucking biggest geek next to Danhausen. He runs out. He takes out J.D. McDonough by smashing his guitar over J.D. McDonough's back. Danhausen and Dominic both try to climb the pole of the human monies. Mysterio crotched Danhausen. He was about to grab the money, But Danhausen does "You Are Cursed." The steel post explodes with poof, fireworks. Dominik Mysterio falls backwards into the ring. Danhausen grabbed the human monies, and he wins the human monies on a pole match. He then takes the bag of money, which supposedly had $100,000 in it. It did not. He takes the bag of human monies. He starts throwing it into the crowd. He starts handing it to people around ringside. He goes over to Nick Khan and hands Nick Khan and his son human monies. Then he goes over to Michael Cole and Wade Barrett and hands them whatever money was in the bag. This was a mix of $1 bills and Danhausen money that they put on sale at WWE Shop. Brother, I hate using the word buried. We already talked about Julia getting buried on Friday. I'm going to put Dominik Mysterio in that. I think Dominik Mysterio was fucking utterly buried and has been utterly buried since coming out of WrestleMania with this garbage. I've never seen WWE so fucking unbelievably uncreative and lazy and just downright disgusting with their creative in many, many, many years. This is like nearing worse Vince McMahon levels. Get this fucking guy off television. I don't give a fuck about his experiments. I don't give a shit about his human monies. I don't care. Go sell ice cream and get the fuck off my television show. This had no place being on SummerSlam. You can make defense as to why this should have been here. Oh, it's for the kids. Oh, it's for the kids. You got to sell. You got to sell merch. Whatever. If SummerSlam was a fucking 6, this brought it down to a 4. Him being included made the show worse. This has no business being on a SummerSlam card. Save this for Friday Night SmackDown. Let me complain about it there. This is anything but premium. Chad Gable. He goes one-on-one with Penta for the Intercontinental Championship. This was the one thing I was most interested in on night 2. And I said coming on in, this should have been something that was a slam dunk for Triple H. He won the gauntlet match. He got the match officially for SummerSlam and the Intercontinental title and Penta. Easiest creative in Triple H's administration. Let them go out there for 20 minutes and let them do the deal. They got 11 minutes. They got 11 minutes and 10 seconds to be exact. Downright criminal. How you employ Chad Gable and Penta and they only go 11 minutes is downright disgusting. I don't know how you guys feel about Penta. The sheer difference in presentation from Penta to Rey Fenix, both of them being brothers, is astonishing. It makes me think, and maybe this is just me. This is just my thoughts kind of being projected to you guys because I can speak to you guys how I want. It's my show. I have a feeling the way that we've seen both Rey Fenix and Penta booked so completely different and opposite from one another. It almost feels like, because the reason I say this is because Penta's presentation tonight was fucking on point. You could see WWE loves Penta. He's got the entrance, he's got the music, he's got the fucking vibe, he's got the walk, he's got the fireworks. They love Penta. They've gone all in on Penta. Rey Fenix has, I don't know what the fuck happened to Rey Fenix. Rey Fenix may be more exciting in the ring, but Penta's got more charisma. It makes me think when WWE was about to bring in the Lucha Brothers, that they didn't want Rey Fenix. I think that WWE wanted Penta, and Penta didn't want to come to WWE without his brother Rey Fenix, and Penta gave them an ultimatum. If you don't take me and my brother, I'm not coming. And WWE signed both Penta and Rey Fenix. They had a plan for Penta. They wanted to push Penta. They found more marketability in Penta, and they don't really give a shit about Rey Fenix, which is why we see him predominantly working on AAA. And now he's the Cruiserweight champion, and he can only find television time on Friday Night SmackDown holding another brand's championship. Another promotion's championship. This is very weird. Very weird. This match was good. I am disappointed because this match should have been great. This match should have been a match of the year candidate. This match should have been one of the best things about this entire weekend. In WWE, it almost came off as if they didn't want to give these guys the stage to produce. Chad Gable and Penta didn't give you anywhere close to what they are truly capable of. I've seen Penta for years. I've called Penta matches in House of Glory. If you think what Penta did tonight was anywhere close to what that man is capable of, you don't know a fucking thing about Penta. And if you think Chad Gable gave you everything he needed to give you tonight, you clearly don't know a fucking thing about Chad Gable. They got fucked over. All they cared about was making a moment, crowning this guy champion in his hometown, and then not giving a shit about how we get there. This match was good. I'm not saying it wasn't a bad match. I'm not saying it wasn't a good match, rather. I'm not saying it was a bad match. I'm saying it was a good match that should have been great, and for that I'm disappointed. And you can't sit there and complain that I'm complaining. As a fan, you should want better. As a fan, you should strive for better. As a fan, you deserve better. As a fan, you should want to see Penta and Gable work their asses off and be given a platform to wrestle, especially in this moment for this title at this event. 11 minutes is disgusting. Yes, that's a good point. That is a good point, JoJo. Undertaker let Chad Gable go 30 fucking minutes plus with Ludwig Kaiser. I don't. There is no answer that anybody could give me, whether you are a business analyst or someone who's in the trenches creatively. There is absolutely no fucking explanation that you could possibly give me from one human being to another as to why Chad Gable was allowed to go out there and wrestle 30 minutes in Mexico against Kaiser. But in the biggest match of this guy's fucking career for the title, the Intercontinental title that he's tried for 6 other times before this, in his hometown of Minneapolis, the first singles title this man has won in his entire wrestling career in WWE. Why he can't get anywhere at least close to half that. WWE hates professional wrestling. They do. I don't know what other... I don't know what other show is telling you this was a great match. It wasn't. I don't know what else to tell you except for that. WWE Triple H hates professional wrestling. I'm not having a producer tagged with this. Maybe one to maybe oversee that things go the way that it needs to. I'm telling Penta, Chad Gable, go out. You guys got 20 minutes. Go out there and give me a match. Why does that not work here? Why does that not work in this capacity for Triple H? Pull them to the side, assign a producer, tell them there's no rules here. Go out there, 20 minutes. You guys got what you got to do. Go do it. Just whatever. Match started off with both of them shaking hands. Gable tripped up Penta, went for the ankle lock very early. Penta got out of it. Step up Hurricane Rana. Gable comes back with a side Russian leg sweep. Super kick by Penta. Gable went for a crossbody. Penta countered with a backbreaker. Penta tried for a Penta driver early on. Gable broke out of it. He knew what was coming. Gable delivered rolling German suplexes for a near fall. So chaos theory early. Gable tries to go behind Penta. Penta then shoves him into the turnbuckle. Penta tries for a backstabber. Gable gets out of it. Gable goes up top. Moonsault. Penta super kicked him in midair. Reminded me of the Adam Cole Ricochet spot from NXT TakeOver all those years ago. So Gable's back into it. He went for another ankle lock. Penta kicked Gable to the floor. Penta followed Gable outside with a big tope over the top rope. Back in the ring. Penta hits the Penta driver. Goes for a cover, gets a near fall. Penta caught Gable with a super kick. But then he charged into an overhead belly-to-belly suplex in the corner. Gable goes up top. He's trying high risk. So he dives off the top rope right in. I believe he was going for a headbutt, flying headbutt. He dives right into Penta's arm. Catches him in an armbar submission, goes to snap the arm. Penta also started to bleed. Gable was bleeding. Penta tried for a Mexican destroyer. Gable countered with an ankle lock. Gable caught Penta with a hanging armbar. Penta tried another destroyer on the apron, but Gable countered into a German suplex. Gable then comes off the top rope with a moonsault out to the floor. Penta back in the ring. Gable comes off top with a headbutt. Finally hits it. Gable comes down off the headbutt, tweaks the shoulder. He's not really hurt, I don't think, but they played it up because that was what kept him out for 7 months, was the shoulder. Gable tried for a superplex off the top. Penta broke free with a headbutt. Penta came off the middle rope, hit a Mexican destroyer off the apron, which did not hit flush. Penta took more impact on the destroyer than Gable did. I think Penta relies too much on the destroyer, especially doing it on the apron. I think we should stay away from the destroyers on the apron. They don't even look good. It's just stupid. Penta tried for another destroyer in the ring, but Gable flipped him into an ankle lock. Penta grabbed the rope. Gable pulled him back while maintaining the ankle lock. He grapevine Penta's leg, and Penta almost immediately tapped. Penta taps, and Chad Gable won the Intercontinental Championship. Match should have been given 20 minutes. I felt watching this match going into the 6 or 7 minute mark that they were coming towards the last closing sequence of the match. It felt like they went from gear 1 to gear 5 into gear 8, and the match was over. I felt like I was watching a match where it's almost like you're watching a television show and all of a sudden it like freezes and lags, and then all of a sudden it just stays like that, and then you're in the middle of the fucking episode somewhere, and then you're nearing the ending. I don't really believe that they let these guys go out there for 11 minutes only. The end of the match was very emotional. Penta put the title on Gable's waist. He put Gable over and gave him his respects. Gable's family got into the ring. His son looked very cute wearing the same outfit that Gable was wearing tonight. His wife is there. His kids are there. His mom and dad enter the ring. I think his dad had a t-shirt that said, Gable's #1 fan. Gable took the microphone and he wanted to address Minneapolis and basically said, "My name is Chad Gable. He was raised in Minneapolis and lives in Minneapolis, and he can finally say he's the Intercontinental Champion." So all of a sudden we get the Mug Root Beer Bulldog, or whatever dog he is, the dog mascot for Mug Root Beer, jumping on the apron. He's interrupting this emotional family moment for Chad Gable. He hands Chad Gable 2 cans of Mug Root Beer. Chad Gable opens the root beer and pounds the root beer like he's Stone Cold Steve Austin in the Attitude Era, downing a Steve Weiser. And then we see plastered on the screen, this match was sponsored by Mug Root Beer, and we got the fucking mascot jumping around behind Chad Gable like he's on the sidelines of a college football game. You don't hate these people enough. You don't hate Triple H and WWE enough. You don't hate TKO enough. I agree. I prefer A&W. You know, in fact, I prefer Stewart's Root Beer. Or Birch Beer. You had a fucking show that gave you 48 minutes of pro wrestling in the first 2.5 hours, and you deemed this spot needing a fucking advertisement? You had all night to give me a fucking advertisement. You had all night to include a Mug Root Beer fucking commercial after the 5-minute static commercial break where we don't go back into an immediate match, where we go static and another 3 fucking commercials and another 2 advertisements from Michael Cole. You couldn't find another fucking spot to give me a Mug Root Beer ad. It had to be when they put Gable in the ring with his fucking family. Chad Gable's winning his first Intercontinental Championship, and an emotional moment in front of his own city and his family is now forever going to be attached to a Mug Root Beer advertisement. Can you imagine CM Punk wrestling Brock Lesnar in 2013 in their epic no disqualifications match? And after the match is over, they plaster the whole fucking screen with a Pepsi logo. Tonight's CM Punk Brock Lesnar match is sponsored by Pepsi. Can you imagine Bret the Hitman Hart winning the WWF Championship from The Undertaker in 1997 after the biggest and best ending to a WWE Championship match in company history in New Jersey at SummerSlam 1997 after Bret the Hitman Hart won it? Can you imagine him in the ring with the rest of the fucking Hart family, and all of a sudden you see Natty Ice or whatever fucking Canadian beer, Labatt Blue. Tonight's Bret the Hitman Hart victory, sponsored by Labatt Blue. Go and get yours and feel blue today. Labatt Blue. Are you fucking kidding me? I guarantee you if Sheamus was in the fucking company and he won his first Intercontinental Championship, I would, beyond the shadow of a doubt, not be surprised if WWE plastered his Intercontinental title win with a fucking Guinness advertisement. And we see some fucking geek wearing a Guinness fucking draught costume dancing around with Sheamus in the middle of the ring. Tonight's Sheamus' first ever Intercontinental title win after 23 years in the company. Tonight, sponsored by Dublin Ireland's finest, Guinness. Fuck you. Fuck Ari Emanuel. Fuck Mark Shapiro. Fuck TKO. Fuck Bruce Pritchard. Fuck Michael Hayes. Fuck Triple H. And fuck WWE. This is fucking disgusting. Fuck them. Fuck them. You don't hate these fucking people enough. You don't. On a show that gave you 48 minutes of pro wrestling between these 5 matches, you couldn't find another fucking 10 minutes. 10 minutes to give these guys another 10 minutes for this Intercontinental title match. Are you a professional wrestling company or are you a corporate fucking monopoly, slop, fucking chat GPT, absolute fucking cosplay pro wrestling company? What the fuck are you? What are you? Triple H wants to make moments. He had the one moment he had all year that fans were looking forward to, and then he gave them 11 minutes and then ruined it with a mug root beer sponsorship with some fucking half-witted geek dressed as a fucking bulldog standing in the ring, handing Chad Gable 2 cans of root beer and having him look like a fucking idiot amongst his family. Oh, but JD hates everything. JD hates everything. No, I actually care. I don't hate. I want change. You don't. Fuck ESPN too. They could fuck off too, ESPN. Justin Jefferson of the Minnesota Vikings is standing on the announce desk with his replica Minnesota Vikings championship title belt from WWE Shop. I thought he was out there to announce the attendance, and then I left. We got no mention of the attendance tonight because they knew they didn't sell this place out. If WWE drew 100,000 people between both nights, you can guarantee they'd have a fucking mascot out there for some fucking stupid company dancing around as they announce 100,000 people in attendance at US Bank Stadium. Not a fucking peep. Not a peep. He was out there to hype up everybody for the main event. Are you ready for the main event? It's now time for the main event. Fantastic. Roman Reigns. He defends the World Heavyweight Championship against Seth Rollins. I don't know what Seth was wearing, but we saw the Shield theme, at least the beginning of it, where it spells out Shield on the big screen, and then it goes into this fire show. Fire shoots up from the stage, and then Rollins is there, and more fire shoots up, and Rollins comes out. I swear to God, I thought he was trying to... He looked very Joker-esque with the colors. I don't know what the colors signified. He was wearing red, and he was wearing white, and he was wearing green. I don't know what the colors he was wearing signified. Cole believes his redemption arc will be completed tonight, and tonight will be the rebirth of Seth Rollins. Sure thing. One could hope and one could dream, huh? Seth Rollins took a long time to get to the ring. Roman Reigns takes just as long as The Undertaker to get to the ring as he aura farms the fuck out of his entrance. By the time we got to the actual match, Alicia Taylor had to do the introductions. We were looking at 15 minutes between Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins' entrance and the introductions. This took longer than Gable and Penta. Yet there'll be somebody in the comments section and somebody on social media who thinks I hate everything that would be okay with this and is okay with this. And they are just brainwashed, suffering from brain rot with E-Fed on the brain. The bell rings literally 2.5 hours into the show. They start things off slow, collar and elbow tie-up. Not really much going on in the first 5 minutes. Feeling each other out. Rollins is taunting Reigns. So Rollins went through a dive through the ropes. Reigns punched him out of midair. Reigns quickly landed a drive-by. Reigns then clotheslined Seth over the barricade, and they start fighting into the crowd. Now, I don't know what the reason was to fight into the crowd. It really didn't add anything to the match, in my opinion. Them fighting into the crowd only prolonged this match even more, and I don't really even think it needed to go 33 minutes. This added nothing to the match. It didn't add any dramatic effect to the match. It was just something that really slowed the match down at a point in the match where we didn't need it to slow down. So they fight into the crowd. They're fighting into the aisleway in the crowd. There's a back body drop on the concrete from Reigns to Rollins. They eventually fight their way back to ringside. Seth charged at Roman. Reigns stopped him, power bombed him onto the announce desk. Now that they're down by ringside, power bombed him on the announce desk. So we're getting tables breaking here. We're not even halfway through this fucking match. Table collapsed. Rollins goes through the table. Reigns cleared the other announce desk. Seth slipped out from Reigns' grip, powerbomb Reigns onto the other desk, which also collapsed. So we got both guys shield powerbombing each other through both commentary desks. So they obviously got up. They were slow to get back into the ring. Seth sees an opening. He lands a pedigree. He hits a near fall. Seth is setting up for the stomp. Reigns countered the stomp with a Superman punch. There was this great spot where they shot down from above, and Rollins is out, Reigns is out, they're both laying on their back in the middle of the ring, and all you see is advertisements in the ring. You got Gears of War, and you got Wingstop, and you got Mug Root Beer, and you got Riyadh Season, and anything else that WWE had to fucking promote. Disgusting. Great shot overlooking them, both laying in the middle of the ring. Seth, he gets Irish whipped. He leapfrogs a spear attempt by Roman. Roman goes into the middle turnbuckle, misses the spear, hits hard. Rollins hits a stomp, only gets a 2 count. Reigns hit that middle turnbuckle very hard. Seth then goes up top. He hits a superplex. Reigns stood up, applies a guillotine choke a little bit after the superplex. So we see Reigns with the guillotine on Seth. Seth tries to suplex his way out of the guillotine. Reigns gets out of it, flipped out of it, stumbled, hits a spear, goes for a cover, only gets a 2 count. Reigns couldn't believe it. He's looking at the referee. That was a 3 count. Referee says, no, that was a 2. Then he starts yelling at Seth, you will always be number 2. You will always be number 2. Seth is yelling back at Roman, bring it. Give me what you got. Reigns went for another spear. Seth countered with a spear of his own, leading to a 2 count from the spear. Seth then stands over Roman Reigns and then starts talking trash back to Roman Reigns, saying the only reason you're number 1, or the only reason your number is they insist on making you number 1. So he's talking trash to Roman Reigns. The only reason why you are where you are is because they insist on making you number 1. Tonight, I'm going to take that from you. So they're really trying to tell the story verbally in the ring as well as what they're doing as far as the wrestling. So Seth gives Reigns a buckle bomb. He goes for another stomp, but Reigns moved and then gave Seth a buckle bomb of his own. He then followed that up by giving Seth a stomp, and then he goes for cover and he gets a 2 count off of a stomp on Seth Rollins. So Reigns and Seth sat up. They exchanged more words between each other. It's only been me and you. Ever since that motherfucker, I'm assuming they meant Moxley or Dean Ambrose, left. It's only been me and you. So they stood and kept talking. They started swinging at each other. Seth accidentally elbowed the ref, who went down. Seth then landed a clothesline. For some reason, Michael Cole called out Dean Ambrose and said, hello, Dean Ambrose. Hello, Dean Ambrose, who will never be back in WWE ever again. Seth set up for a pedigree, but Reigns gave him a Death Rider. So he called back to Jon Moxley. He shot out homage to Jon Moxley. Death Rider. Cole made mention that move was a move of the 3rd Shield member. Thank you, Michael Cole. Thank you for not naming him again after you just mentioned Dean Ambrose. A lot of Shield lore here. So Reigns stood up. He went for a spear. Reigns speared the ref instead. So now the referee's completely out of it. And I'm like, all right, here comes the shenanigans. What's going to happen now? Seth then gave Reigns a stomp. Both were down again, slow to get up. Michael Cole is selling this as one of the biggest and best matches in SummerSlam history. Seth sat up. Michael Cole is going on about how great this match is. I never want to see it end, he says. I'm like, let's get to the end, please. We've been here long enough. Seth left the ring and he looked at the World Championship belt. He then grabbed the chair. He brought it into the ring. So with the referee down, obviously, he's going to use the chair. This is what started it all. This is what severed the Shield, the steel chair. So Reigns has his back turned. Reigns stood and surprised Seth with a punch. He turned around, punched Seth. Seth went down and Reigns looked at the chair. Reigns then picked up the chair and with the referee down, waited for Seth to stand up. He decided, and then he ended up throwing the chair away. Seth turned around slowly, and Michael Cole went on to say that Roman Reigns wanted to end this once and for all, man to man. So he throws the chair away. We're now already 30 minutes into this match. So they began going at each other back and forth, blow after blow. Headbutts, kicks. Reigns went for a spear. Seth blocked it, turned it into a pedigree. Seth then went for a stomp. Reigns moved. Seth went for it again, landed it. He goes up to the top rope. He went for a super stomp attempt. Reigns moved. He speared Seth. No referee. Reigns speared Seth again. No referee. Reigns starts looking for the referee who was still at ringside recovering after he was accidentally speared by Roman. He stood in the corner. He shook his head. He let out the big ooh-ah. Third spear. Referee finally came to. He slides into the ring. Reigns covers. 1, 2, 3. Roman Reigns wins and retains the championship against Seth Rollins. Michael Cole said he didn't know what to say because he said that was one of the greatest main events he's seen at SummerSlam. Was it one of the greatest main events in SummerSlam history? I mean, that's going to be too early to tell. Just jumping off the page. It's not better than Undertaker, Bret the Hitman Hart, 1997. It's not better than Stone Cold Undertaker, 1998. Just to name a couple. Some of you guys love the British Bulldog and Bret the Hitman Hart at 1992's Wembley SummerSlam. Is this up there? John Cena and Cody Rhodes. Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. I mean, this was a great match. I mean, am I going to look at this as one of the greatest SummerSlam matches of all time? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't even think this makes the top 5 best SummerSlam main events of all time. I don't even think this was better than Reigns and Punk at WrestleMania. If you're a Shield fan, you loved it. If you're a fan of Roman and Seth, you loved it. This was great. This was better than Cody and Punk on night 1, I'll tell you that. Just based off the history and the lore and the Shield and 14 years. I mean, they had a lot coming into this match just based off their history. The current story didn't really do anything to get me excited, but when you have two characters like that came from where they were 14 years ago and are still at the top of their game in 2026, it's going to make for a great match and a fun match with the callbacks and the Shield lore and the history and some of the things that they kind of feel about each other. Where Rollins' career has ascended and where Reigns is above most in the industry. I thought this was a great main event. One of the greatest SummerSlam main events of all time. I mean, let it marinate for a little bit. Let's come back 5 years from now. Maybe we'll look back at it a little different. Right now, I'm not looking at it as anything but the best match of SummerSlam 2026 on what was largely an okay weekend of SummerSlam. It didn't do a lot to excite me. It left me disappointed in multiple aspects. WWE went into this cold. They came out of it with some great moments. Kevin Owens is back. Chelsea Green is the new interim champion. Chad Gable is the new Intercontinental Champion. Obafemi should absolutely be going after the World Championship. What does WWE do with Obafemi? How long can they keep him? It's going to be hilarious to see WWE book Obafemi and Brock and Roman Reigns away from each other for so long because they want to do it at Mania. It's going to be comical to see WWE book Oba away from Roman for all these months. The women's division is still in shambles. Where do we go with Liv? What do they do with Chelsea? Nick Aldis is back to being a GM. There's a lot of questions, bro. There's a lot of questions. I had a much better time with Night 2, but not by much. Night 2 was better than Night 1, which ended up being the same way for WrestleMania. And at the end of it all, the entire weekend was probably a 5.5 out of 10 for me. You should be deserving of more. You should be asking for better. The fact that some people are going to be legitimately okay with this show, and I'm already seeing people say it was an 8 out of 10, a 9 out of 10. Brother, you don't know what the fuck you're watching or what you're talking about. And you are in deep with the WWE system. You are in deep with what they're serving you, bro, and you can't decipher what is good and what is bad. You are so blinded by the fact that this company is advertising you to death that it's really just kind of making everything around it worse. I guess with the small victories, you got to take them just as much as the big victories. What does WWE do on Monday night following SummerSlam? It should be served as a reset. It should be served as, let's get things going and really make good after a terrible SummerSlam build. Do I trust Triple H to do that? No, I don't. Thank you guys for all your support. We're going to get into your super chats now. I appreciate all the support tonight. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. We got 1,639 likes. Can we try for 2,000 likes? 2,000 likes is the goal. Go check out everything on social media where I am available, man. At JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Cameo, Patreon. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. All the content on the channel. We got a second channel where we upload short-form content, clips from the streams. That's down in the description as well. And like I said, super chats are open. Get them on in. We're going to read through them all before we get out of here. And leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought of Night 2 of tonight's SummerSlam. Did you guys look at the SummerSlam logo? I looked at the SummerSlam logo in the top right corner of the screen. If you look at it from far away, at a distance, it looks like it does really say SummerSlam. All right, who are we starting off with here, man? Let me refresh. Let's get into these super chats. I'm going to guess Michael Krause is number one. Yes, he is. $2 super chat. Human Monies on a poll. LOL, how you know? Yeah. Tone VC with a $5 super chat. Thanks, JD. Thank you, Tone. Caden with a $1.99. Thank you, Caden. Cody with a 2. Holy shit, Punk and KO. We are going to eat very well if WWE plays their cards right. Michelle with a 2. Punk versus KO. Take my fucking money, please. Everyone's excited about this, man. I told you, Kevin Owens is going to make a big difference on Friday night. Cody Snyder with a $5 super chat. Dude, I dig Gable's theme. Not ashamed. I mean, if you're all right with Suno AI, it's better than what Def Rebel's doing. Phantom, $10 super chat. Help, I'm trapped and I can't chat without monies. What happened, brother? Are you benched? No, you're not benched, brother. Maybe you're just fallen victim to the 2-week wait period. Tanmay with 79 months. Thank you, Tanmay. Longest running member in the OTS VIP section. He simply says, Summer Scam. Yo, boy Pete with a $9.99. JD with Orton and now Owens both being back. Do you agree that will bring a breath of fresh air to SmackDown, or will Sesame Street H fuck up SmackDown? I don't trust him at all, Pete. I don't trust him at all. We got my guy James re-upping his membership. Thank you, my brother. Long time no speak. Appreciate you, man. Jace Park, 4809 with a $5 super chat. JD, would you say that TNA and NWA are better than WWE and AEW at the moment? What would you do to make TNA more relevant again if you owned TNA? Brother, I haven't watched an hour of TNA television outside of their debut on AMC, and I never watched another hour. 2 hours was enough. I reviewed the show on YouTube that week. I never went back and watched. That's not completely true. I watched Bound for Slammiversary just to see Red and Mike Santana. But the weekly television I have not consumed. So I'm partially kind of telling the truth. I just tuned in for Red and Mike Santana winning, or losing rather, his last match against Nick Nemeth. What would I do to make them relevant again? I don't know. Make yourself different from WWE and AEW. That's what you got to do. They try to be WWE, and they also try to give you the good pro wrestling like AEW does, but they're stuck in this middle ground somewhere. They don't know who they want to be. And I don't watch NWA, so I can't really speak on any NWA. Johnny Boy with a $10 super chat. Say what you want about Roman. He puts on better in-ring wrestling matches than Cody. He does. Roman controls the crowd and the storyline in the ring better than any superstar, which is why WWE sees him as number one. I agree with everything you said, which is basically what I said earlier in the show. Ray Lyon with a $1.99. Roman delivers in almost every main event he's in. I'm glad you guys agree with that. DC Calgary with a $6.99. Roman is the common denominator for big fight feel and great main events. Rollins and Reigns delivered. They did. I don't think it was as great as Michael Cole's making it out to be in the annals of SummerSlam history, but it was good. Michelle with a $5 super chat. Seth Roman was a banger. Classic storytelling. Thought Roman would attack Seth, but Shield fist bump instead. Loved the match with Seth and Roman at War Games. Seth with Roman at War Games. I don't know. Maybe. They did cap it off. That was basically them ending that with the fist bump at the end. That was them putting finality on their 14-year history. Adam JD with a $4.99, 6.5 out of 10 for SummerSlam. Both nights had a good and bad SmackDown, looking much better with KO and Punk, and Cody and Randy. OTS for life. Nathan with a $4.99. What a show. I feel bad for Finn. I'm happy for Chelsea Green and Chad Gable. They both deserve it. Where do Seth go from here? I don't know. That's the biggest question mark. Where does Seth Rollins go from here? I don't know. Maybe he feuds with LA Knight. I have no idea. Or maybe Bronson Reed is ready to come back. I don't know. Kid Revos with a $10 super chat. I know TKO won't allow it, as they are milking WWE fans, but the two-night PLE is not working. The creative can't make storylines for 2 nights, so one night's matches will always be stronger than the other. If this show existed with 8 or 9 matches and it was a 4.5-hour show, it probably would have been a lot better than what we got over 2 nights. John Lamy with 48 months. Thank you, brother. 2 years. That Mustang emote looks good next to your name, man. Appreciate you. Gary Gordon with a 5. Great on the Danhausen match. F-. Yes. Kid Chaos with a $4.99. SummerSlam is in the books. Now, what do the follow-up shows look like? That's the creative kicker. Second City with a $10 super chat. Danhausen in every segment and match until the cash well runs dry. It's what we do. It's already run dry, brother. Creatively, it's already run dry. Tops drop with a $5 super chat. Roman and Seth, in my opinion, was a 5-star classic. Saved the show. Night 2 is better than Night 1. P.S. Thank you, JD, for the videos. Keep it up. Was it a 5-star match? No. It was not a 5-star match, in my opinion. It wasn't better than Reigns and Punk at WrestleMania. So how was it a 5-star match? The way people grade 5-star matches is unrealistic. History King with a $4.99. JD, the number 20 on Punk's jacket was actually a tribute to Dino Cicerelli, a legendary Minnesota North Stars player who wore the number 20. Well, I didn't know that. Michael Cole mentioned that it was for 20 years of him being a pro wrestler. That's what he said on commentary. But I guess that's why you know that, because you're the History King. I didn't know that. Thank you, man. We got OJ with a $5 super chat. This music makes me want to play a Sega Mega Drive. What was I playing at 10 o'clock? Space Strippers? Yeah. Got to fit the 80s retro vibe, bro. I'm very retro. Diamond with a $4.99. In the last 4 years, Seth put over Cody and Punk multiple times clean, and now Roman. Seth is one of the most selfless guys on the roster. Tone VC with a $5 super chat. I heard what you said last week. Before I forget, a local shop had a Submariner for $7K. They dropped it a couple of times from almost $9K. Yeah, but is that pre-owned? That's certainly not brand new. They're not selling a Submariner Rolex for $9,000. There's no way. Diamond with a $4.99. Meanwhile, Roman put over Cody with an Avengers finish once 3 years ago, and that's pretty much been it. So, of course, Roman goes over, and now what? Again, another question. We will find out on Monday. Roman will be at Money in the Bank. I don't know what the PLE is for September. I believe it'll be WrestlePalooza. I don't know what Roman does, and I don't know where Seth goes. Monday Night Raw is in trouble. They're in a very difficult spot right now. A lot of up-in-the-air decisions, a lot of question marks coming off Monday night. This is the worst Monday Night Raw has felt since they've gone to Netflix. Diamond with a $4.99. The gingerbread man died so Baron Corbin could run to the front of the line to win the United States title. They're just custom made for Trick Willie. Fun times. Captain Solo with a $5 super chat. Where does Sami and Finn Balor go from here? Do you see Finn being put in anything meaningful going forward, or is this it for him? He'll be factored into the world title picture. I think him keeping up with all those other guys I mentioned before is the way to go. Stephen B with a $2 super chat. Root Beer Man versus Danhausen. Minihausen on a pole. Diamond D with the $1.99. Tickets aren't selling even with Roman, though, because the product overall sucks. Roman, there's only so much he could do. Lennon with a 20 in Mexican pesos. Thank you, Lennon. Penta and Chad should have gotten at least 20 minutes. I agree. I agree 100%. Weapon Hex with a $4.99. JD, I appreciate everything you do for the wrestling community. Been watching you for 2 years now. Keep killing it, brother. Thank you, Weapon. I wish everybody felt that way. Mike, 44 with the 51 months. Reunite Lucha Brothers. Have them run tag team division. So excited KO is back. Bring Drew to Raw. Boosting main event scene. Yeah, Drew could very well move over to Monday night because SmackDown is loaded. They're going to have to really kind of supply Raw with some top guys. SmackDown seemingly has got all of them. Age, do you really want to put Drew McIntyre in a position to lose to Roman, though? That's the problem. AJ with the $4.99. Your Honor, I am here to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. I always do. I always do. Lennon with the 20 in Mexican pesos. Michael Hayes is a fucking idiot. Road Dogg was vindicated tonight. AJ Body with the $4.99. They wasted Finn Balor's resurgence for a pop. I love Kevin Owens, but don't you think they're rushing this feud with Punk? They're throwing everything at the wall, brother, to get interest in whatever they're doing on television. It might be something Punk requested. It might be something Punk asked for to help SmackDown, which is in massive trouble right now. Adam JD with a $4.99. Feel like they will send someone to Raw to balance the rosters. Gunther, Orton, Cody, Finn, Sami, Drew, Punk, KO. That's almost too much talent for 2 hours. Yeah, We should be seeing that type of talent up and down 2 hours, though. That's the thing. Jay Voltage with the $9.99. Randy and KR back. I'll take it. JD, thanks for the truth every week. Keep killing it, bro. Yeah. Thank you, Voltage. Baltimore Jackson with a $4.99. SummerSlam was better than WrestleMania Night 2 in my eyes. Was better than Night 1. Night 2 was better than Night 1 in my eyes also. Also, title changes were the right decisions, but then again, I don't trust WWE to follow up. Why would you? Their television has sucked. Jay Warren with a $20 super chat. I love your work. Continue being yourself. What advice would you give someone that feels content creator doesn't need donations? What advice would you give someone that feels content creators don't need donations? Who said that? You donate who you want to donate to, brother. You find someone that you believe in and that you like and that you're entertained by and you support. You don't have to do it all the time. I get people saying, all the haters, because they're not, obviously you guys show so much support that some of these other people look down on that, like, why isn't it me? Why me? Why not me? Because they're not growing. Or JD, they say that I brainwash you into giving me donations and super chats. This is coming from people who don't have any talent to even accumulate donations. This is coming from geeks and trolls and ghouls and fucking goblins online that don't have the talent or community support to even get a 1/100th of that. You donate to who you want to donate to. You become a member to a channel you want to become a member to. Sponsorships. It's another thing. People look down on sponsorships. Brother, do you know those sponsorships pay for my fucking rent? Do you realize that pays for my rent and I don't have to worry about anything else? It's crazy. Jealousy runs deep in the wrestling community, man. Big time. Baltimore Jackson with a $4.99. In my eyes, the Bellas aren't even adding anything to these shows. I wish they would just retire already, and WWE need to pull the trigger and combine the tag team divisions. I think Nikki Bella did a autograph signing today, and someone asked her about Brie, and she said it's not looking good. Triple H said that Brie had to go to the hospital after the show last night. I mean, it's over for them. It's just over. Nobody cared, and it's sad. Their entire return run has been just destroyed by injury. AJ with a $4.99. Fuck Cody and Punk. Cody annoys me right now. I want to see KO versus Punk, but I don't want it to be rushed. We don't know. We don't even know what the next pay-per-view is. Is it WrestlePalooza? Did they announce what the September pay-per-view is going to be? I'm assuming it's going to be WrestlePalooza. History King with a $1.99. Chelsea called out Hayes during the post-show. Good for her. Good for her. AJ Body with a $4.99. Cody versus Cena wasn't good. Huh? Cody versus Orton wasn't. Cody versus Cena when? At SummerSlam last year? Cody versus Cena at SummerSlam was fucking great last year. What are you talking about? That was one of John Cena's best matches all year. Cody versus Drew was not good. There is a pattern here. Only the KO one was entertaining. Because Cody, everything he does from feud to feud, story to story is the same thing. Will I accept a sponsorship from Mug Root Beer if they pay me? I don't drink soda. I don't drink anything sugary. Sparkling water and still water only. I don't drink anything soda related. Second City with a $5 super chat. The wrestling is the intermission in modern WWE, but people want to believe the company is better now. Sure. Matthew Urban with the $2 super chat. Why are we not getting hype packages for matches? Well, Matthew, there'd have to be stories for these matches to give hype packages to. There's no story. Newark's Finest with a $9.99. JD, I became a fan after your collab with In the Clutch. Keep doing what you're doing and keep it real because pro wrestling needs to be better. Much love, bro. Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Ross is quality people. It's nice when I can resonate with another creator's fan base. Get a couple of guys from there coming over here, man. I appreciate that. Diamond with a $1.99. Why are entrances so long and the match is so short? Because the company has no love for actual pro wrestling. It's the only thing I can think of. Mother Lover with a $4.99. I was too busy looking at Tiffany Stratton to pay attention to the ladder match. I don't feel bad about it either. Congrats to Chelsea Green, though. You know, one of the best moments on SummerSlam? Fallon Henley. You gooners. Raekwon with a $4.99. Matches don't even really tell a story anymore. Every match tonight was, wow, they could have gone 5 more minutes. And Roman Reigns, Seth could have been at least 10 less. Yes. It could have been shed 10 minutes and we could have given 5 minutes to Gable and Penta. We could have given 5 minutes to the opening match. Clint's with a $4.99. This was a good 2 nights show compared to what we've been given. It's just hard to get behind it with no storytelling, build, and short-ass matches. Joshua with a $19.99. Love the show, buddy. Me and the wife watch after every show. Thanks for what you do. Joshua and wife, thank you. Netta with a $4.99. Shout out KO for mentioning Rebel on the post show. Fuck ALS. Kevin Owens is a fucking legend, bro. He is a legend. Mr. Orr with a $2 super chat. Matches are short because TKO prioritize their ads. I don't know why we can't have a 4-hour show with longer matches. Give me longer matches. Give me your ad breaks so the ad breaks seem not that overbearing. See, this is what I don't understand. If you give me a 20-minute match and then we go into a 5 or 6 minute ad break, it's not going to be as egregious as watching an 8-minute match and then a 7-minute ad break. The ad break is just as long as the actual match we just watched. Stretch the show to 4 hours, go from 6 to 10, give me longer matches, and then do what you got to do with your ads. It almost came off like WWE was inconvenienced by running SummerSlam tonight. Clint with a $4.99. Please show a clear, good direction for LA Knight tomorrow on Raw. Yeah. Lost but found with a $1.99. What Oba versus Braun and the Vision? You want Oba versus Braun? I could see Oba versus Bronson Reed. I could see that. WWE would be smart to set up Oba and Braun and kind of tease that as a future WrestleMania main event somewhere down the line. In the Den with Fred with a $10 super chat. Thanks for everything you do for the wrestling world. WWE roster looks old. And what's next for Rollins? Brother, I don't know. I don't know. It's a big question mark that even has me stumped. I don't know. Mother Lover with a $4.99. Root beer ad during Chad Gable's victory. 8-minute matches. Too many commercials. Gunther being in a match for no reason. Oh, my God. Everything's great. Everything's great. Says everything's great. Oh, man. Vincent Tarantini with a $5 super chat. I hope we get the Lucha Brothers soon and Enzo comes back to join up with Big Cass. That would certainly be a start. Lauren with a 2. Orton and Owens are going to make SmackDown watchable again. I do believe we are headed towards a watchable SmackDown, at least some of it anyway. Craig Rode Jr. with a $5 super chat. Let's be real, Triple Mania will be the event of the year. Probably. And I might have to watch some AAA and get ready for that so I could do a live stream for you guys. Because certainly we're not getting fulfilling content from WWE main roster. Yo, boy Pete with a $100 super chat. We got to give, let's shut the music off. Tranquilo. We got to get yo boy Pete. Yo, boy P with a $100 super chat. Just finished the show completely now. Wow, a Dean Ambrose reference. As I'm typing this, you're saying Trick ain't ready, although I agree he's not ready for the moon. But what would you do with him if you had the pen? Happy SummerSlam weekend, OTS family. Yo, boy Pete, thank you. Keep him in the United States title picture. WWE has this thing where they belt someone too quickly and then they take it off of them and they do nothing with the United States Championship to make the belt matter, and the belt doesn't do anything to enhance the talent. Trick didn't need to win the Intercontinental title right away. He didn't. Now we got Baron Corbin. They put it on Baron Corbin. I don't know where they go with Trick. Like I said, I could see him being set up to win Money in the Bank. Because they're in dire need to create the next big star. They're doing with Oba, and they've certainly started that with Trick. I think Oba's a little bit more ready than Trick. Trick will get there, but I don't think Trick is ready right now. I appreciate that, Yo Boy Pete. Thank you, brother. Platinum Pete. We got two Pete. We got Yo Boy Pete and Platinum Pete with a $4.99. Just put 5 of my hardcore pro wrestling friends onto your channel. We like you because you unashamedly say what all of us think. She's from Minnesota. Shout out to Platinum Pete and the boys, wherever they may be in Minnesota. I don't know if you guys went to the show tonight or not, but like I said earlier, I don't think many of the paying customers there are happy with what they got, because I know I wouldn't be. Yo Boy P with another $9.99 commenting of the Yachty Kendo spot. Although it may have sounded like a perfect swing on MLB The Show 26, the ref must have thought it was Yachty clapping to the crowd. Referees in modern pro wrestling are always treated like clowns, especially AEW referees. Angel Alaga with a 51 months. I agree with you, JD. Although not great, night 2 is definitely better than night 1. Frank with a 5. Chelsea dedicated her win to Michael Hayes tonight. LOL, it was priceless. This was predictable, JD. The main event was boring and dragged out too long. Time management is fucking awful in WWE, bro. Every match should have had extra time to it, especially the big ones. Gable, Penta, that fatal 4-way that opened the show. Yo, boy, Pete with a $50 mini bomb here. Thank you, Pete. I know there's no wheel tonight, but had to pop up for a 4th super chat. Chelsea is the definition of second place after her CVV interview where she said she basically doesn't want a championship as she sees herself, in other words, as a gimmick wrestler. And WWE will treat her as a second place interim champion gimmick wrestler. They ain't doing nothing with Chelsea, bro. Do you think that WWE now all of a sudden is going to break Chelsea out as the next big thing in the division, allowing her to wrestle like Charlotte Flair? Come on. No. Adam JD with a $1.99. Who's worse, Lash or Jade? Oh, jeez. If you got to put a gun to my head, I'll probably say Lash. She's awful. Lash should have never been called up. She needs the PC. Cats World Daily with a new membership. Thank you, Cats World. What the fuck are we drinking tonight in the OTS Beer Garden? Brian Peoples with a $4.99. Michael Hayes and Bruce Pritchard are so outdated. They should be the next candidates to go. Do you know that WWE promoted their new LJN line for the classic figures? They did this tonight on the show. They did it last night, too. I scanned the QR code that was on the TV because I like to collect them. I have the Warrior here. I can't find Hogan. I would love to find Hogan. The yellow and red Hogan. They have another Hogan that they have from, I don't know what it is, an old school Hogan. But I like these figures. I want to get the Hogan one, as you see here. He's right here. I have Warrior. I have Austin. I have Ventura. I have Bundy. I can't find Cena. Can't find Logan Paul. And I can't find Dusty. They released these figures. The next line ain't coming out till May of 2027. I go to scan the QR code. The only ones that are available are Jey Uso and the Iron Sheik. Bruce Pritchard has an LJN figure, all sold out. Bruce Pritchard, Brother Love, has an LJN figure, all sold out. If anybody can help me get some of the new line, or anybody can help me get a Hogan or a Dusty, let me know. Let me know. Cat's World Daily with a $9.99. Notice how WWE didn't announce attendance numbers. Yes, they love to announce numbers in all PLEs. They're embarrassed. Of course they are. They'll never admit it, though. Oh, yeah, scalpers. 100% scalpers. 100%. Nathan Rush with the $2 Super Chat. Jokes on WWE. Danhausen is the curse. It's funny how that works out, huh? Brian Peoples with a $4.99. I'd rather see Adam Pearce wrestle again before Danhausen in a ring. Me too. Me too. Get in touch with Cornette and Brian Last. Bro, Cornette's got me blocked. Cornette wants nothing to do with nobody. And I doubt Brian Last even knows who I am. Omar with a $1.99. Kevin looking like Odysseus from the Odyssey. Yeah. It's that gray in the beard. Adam JD with a $1.99. Merch is why Danhausen isn't going anywhere. Well, fuck his merch. True Crime Unleashed with the $2 Super Chat. Ripley on social media. Easy victory coming up. Is that what she said? I'm assuming she's ready to come back. She's been posting gym selfies about working out, training. She'll be back very soon. Reggie Brackett with a 57 months. I'm still here getting recaps of shit I haven't watched in months. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for being a member for 57 months, Reggie. Cat's World Daily with the $4.99. El Grande coming into this match would have made the most sense. Good build for Triple Mania. Triple H making sense of something. Come on now. Omar with the $1.99. Roxy looks thicker these days. Really distracting. Yes, she's always distracting. She was distracting fucking when she was in NXT. Don Stoney with a $5 Super Chat. Shout out to Don Tony, Wrestling Soup, Spitball Media, and as always, R.I.P. Kevin Castle. Thank you, Don Stoney, wherever you may be, brother. Hopefully you had a good Sunday night. Yo, boy, P with the $4.99. Now I got to hop in for another Super Chat. I don't know how familiar you are with Hoboken, JD, but Mug the Goat Root Beer from Biggie's. Brother, I've never been to Hoboken in my entire life. Never been to Hoboken. Polish Padawan with a $5 Super Chat. You are the best, JD. Thank you for all the content. Polish. Thank you, brother. Nathan Rush with a $5. Should have had Danhausen climb the pole to win the human monies and had the sack attached to the sack of Mug Root Beer Bulldog. Why are we looking to make a Danhausen match worse than what we're getting with Danhausen currently? Omar with a $9.99. JD was telling me a story in Stop and Shop yesterday. He was in a room with Liv, Roxy, Blake, Kathy, Stephanie, and Jada for about 30 minutes. Let's just say you don't need Blue Chew Gold for that to have a good time. Brother, I was nowhere near that Stop and Shop. I don't know. You got the wrong JD, brother. That was a different JD, an imposter JD. Lennon with a $50 in Mexican pesos. Thank you, Lennon. The no count out felt like the COVID PLE when KO handcuffed Roman in a last man standing match and Reigns couldn't step up, so the referee just stopped counting. That's what they do. Dumb. Tim Clemens with a $4.99. I think Seth Rollins has stamped himself as the best WWE performer of this generation. He's one of them, but the guy that he was in the ring with may be number one. Illuminati with a 10. Roman versus Seth in this match would have been better if Jon Moxley was still with WWE. Having the whole third person in the Shield commentary just makes it a little bit less than what it could have been. Well, if WWE wasn't so afraid of mentioning the other Shield member and actually mentioning him by name, which they did, Dean Ambrose, something like that verbally could tie stories together without actually him being there, but they don't want to mention him because he's with the competition. David Rice. Main event went too long. The finish was dragged out. It's like Seth and Roman overcooked the brisket. That was this match. It did go long, brother. It did. I agree with you. It did go long. Again, I would have shaved 10 minutes off of it. I would have given some to Gable Penta. I would have given some to the Fatal 4-Way that opened the show. Random takes and traits with a 10. Hey, JD, name's Joseph, new to the chat. Joseph, welcome. Do you really think Moxley will not be back, even with the new management? No. Moxley will never be back. Tony Khan will never let Jon Moxley go anywhere else. He will retire in AEW. Red Fire with a $4.99. Would it be respectful if I said it was an 8 out of 10 if I went in person? No. I can imagine that you felt the same way we did watching at home with all the advertisements. Because I'm assuming you guys got advertisements when we got advertisements. And you all watched the same matches that we got. Everything felt less than. 48 minutes, Red Fire. 48 minutes of actual in-ring action after 2.5 hours on a Sunday night. That's an 8 out of 10 to you. You know, with the 52 months, how you know? Since we only got one good night in the 2-night PLE system, do you think WWE should go back to one-night shows? Do I think? Yes. Do I think they will? No. If they could sell 35,000 and 35,000, why would they give up that 35,000? Why would they want to do 35 one night when they can do 35 both nights and have a combined 70,000? The fans are dumb enough to actually accept their bullshit. Those are the dumb people. T Queen, then with the $2 super chat, a bone pill ad live in arena, best SSS of your life. I don't think WWE would do that, but I could see them doing dude wipes. David Rice, tonight's main event was not better than Punk vs. Roman at Mania. I agree 100%. Said that multiple times tonight. Joshua Brasher with a new membership. Joshua, thank you for being here, brother. Nathan with a $4.99 was hoping Alexa Bliss came out to cost Charlotte that match. We want nothing to do with Charlotte versus Jade. Well, you're going to get Charlotte and Jade, and you're going to like it. Illuminati with the $2 super chat. Raw is very pigeonholed. It is. They're in a very bad place creatively right now. Silver with a 5. Not sure which night was better, though. I'm glad Kevin Owens is finally back. Also, C-Jack says, hi, JD. I don't want nothing to do with him. I don't want nothing to do with that type of content or anything else. Alive and kicking with a $1.99. 3-hour SmackDowns needed for all that firepower. No, it's not. 2-hour SmackDowns all the way to go. We don't need 3-hour anything. Yo, boy, Pete, $4.99. To those saying JD brainwashes people into donations, shut the fuck up, yo, boy, Pete says. Just say your favorite sucks. That's it. Pete, I love you, brother. Thank you for being here. $10 super chat. What's up? JD from Furious Nation. Welcome back, Kevin Owens. SmackDown needed a boost, and KO back is a very big deal. He looks great. Happy to see him back. SmackDown looks very stacked star-wise, but Raw looks bleak. Honestly, it does. Raw is very bleak. Indigo. Recommitment to the VIP section. Thank you, Indigo. Street Fighter with $5 super chat. I don't think we get WrestlePalooza in September. They already have South American Tour, Triple Mania, and Worlds Collide that month. WWE not adding another show to boost their ticket sales? Shocking. Nathan with the $4.99. I pray Becky be on the show tomorrow. The Raw Women's Division need her back ASAP. I agree. Nemo with a $10 super chat. Speaking of Trick not being ready for the main event scene, do you think Oba is ready? I do. I do. None of his matches were great to me, and his main event last night was very disappointing. Can he go past 15 minutes? Go watch his match with Cody at Saturday Night's main event last year, December 13th. I think he's more than ready. Go watch some of his stuff in NXT with Javon Evans and Trick, Ricky Saints, Tony D'Angelo. He's ready. Furious Nation with a $5 super chat. Congrats to Chelsea Green tonight. Michael Hayes is punching air as we speak. Throw him in the bin. Like you said, JD, drain the swamp. Michael Hayes is going to die in that company. To Illuminati with 5. They need to let Chelsea break out of her shell, just like Solo is doing. I agree. I agree 100%. Will they? No. Patriot with a 5. I'm glad Chelsea won, but when Rhea comes back, it won't matter because in the end, the WWE favoritism is more important than pushing talent. That's why I said, don't get used to it. They only put the title on her because it's someone for Rhea to beat easily without them feeling bad about beating another top talent. Wasn't going to be Tiffany, wasn't going to be Charlotte, wasn't going to be Jade. All it's telling you is that they have no plans to take the belt off Rhea Ripley at any point, interim or not interim. Dingleberry with a $5 super chat. Another banger. Thanks for all the work you put in. Keep climbing the rankings on iTunes. You're the fucking king, JD. Thank you, Dingleberry. Thank you, brother. Yo, boy P with a $4.99. I bet the Bruce figure ain't actually sold out. He just told Mattel his figure is ready. I love you. God, I hate that fucking motherfucker. Random takes and traits. Random takes and traits with a $2.99. Any Mario Kart gameplay coming? I hope so. No. I don't have my Nintendo Switch 2 hooked up to my PC. I honestly haven't even turned it on. I'm waiting for Ocarina of Time. Remake of Ocarina of Time in October. For Illuminati with a 5. My biggest hope is we start this coming week SmackDown with Cody beating the ever-living shit out of Randy. Kickstart the path down the dark side. I don't know. I won't be watching SmackDown. I'll be at House of Glory on Friday with Solid Monster. Joker Face with a $4.99. Happy 63rd birthday to the Metallica legend James Hetfield. JD, what's your favorite vocal song performance by James Hetfield? Probably Battery. I love One. I love Blackened. I love Harvester of Sorrow. I love Leper Messiah. I love My Friend of Misery. I love The God That Failed. I love King Nothing. I love Devil's Dance, even though I hate those albums. Just some of them. Just some of them. My favorite all time is probably Battery, Leper Messiah, and I would probably say probably Blackened off of Injustice. 63 years old, huh? Furious with a $5 super chat. Why are we advertising Domino's Pizza, Papa John's Pizza? They ain't real pizza. Brooklyn, New York City, crispy pizza is so much better. I'm never in Brooklyn. I've been to Brooklyn, I can't even tell you, man, a handful of times. I don't know. Who travels into Brooklyn? Last time I was in Brooklyn was in the middle of January, and I got my hair cut. Beautiful and talented with the $5 super chat. Good show always. I saw on Mattel they have Logan Paul figure, and on eBay I saw the Dusty Rhodes figure. Yeah, I stay away from eBay. Mattel, they have the Logan figure. I got to look into it. Thank you, beautiful and talented. Don Stoney with a $5 super chat. Would you ever do Out of Nowhere again? All love, says Stoney. No. The only reason why I won't do Out of Nowhere with Joe is because he's talked so much shit about me over the years. I don't want to work with somebody that has talked all that shit, claims that it's all him joking around, yet I know he really means it. Plus, then he kind of spawns that off onto his chat and his subscriber base, and then they all regurgitate what he says. So all the cat jokes and all the bullshit and all the fucking stuff that he put me through and all the grief he put me through, I would never work with him again. Why would I give back to him when he's never really given back to me or given me anything meaningful at all? Yet the narrative over there is that Joe made me into the successful content creator that I am. Sure. I will give Joe credit. I got no problem with Joe. I have no problem with Joe. I have never really had a problem with Joe. It's like they always seemingly talk about me whenever I say something on Twitter or something they don't agree with, or I say something here and they clip it for their show. I'll give Joe credit for something. You know, I appreciate him and the time that he spent with me, bringing me to an indie show he was doing commentary for and really got my feet wet into commentary. He showed me the ropes. He showed me how he did things. He showed me what it was about. He got my feet wet. He put me live on the air for a recording. I don't know where that recording ever went. I don't think it went anywhere, but to be there sitting next to him, I thought we did a pretty fucking good job. I'm sure I'm a lot better now. I'm sure we would be great together now, but I give him props for that. And he's got a great voice. He's got a great radio voice. He had a great commentary voice. He was very good at what he did. I got no problem with him. Phil with a 1999. SummerSlam Night 2 was incredible. It's just like Chelsea Green to win the Interim Championship. Kevin Owens' return was amazing. That main event with Roman and Seth was truly special. Such an amazing moment for Chad. There was a lot of decent moments tonight. That's why I said Night 2 was better than Night 1. 100%. Furious with a $5 super chat. Also, happy 20th anniversary to CM Punk debuting in WWE in 2006. Straight edge to the best in the world. Batista vs. Big Show sucked on ECW 8/1/2006. Random takes and traits with the $2.99. Who do you take in a fight, Cornette or Russo? Vince. 100%. WrestleMess with a $1.99. I second crispy pizza on 13th Avenue. The Palermo pie. Hey. Now, when I'm in Brooklyn, I'll let you guys know. You tell me where to go. And random takes and traits with the $2.99. Where is Sean's view end nowadays? LOL. Clickbaiting the fuck out of the YouTube algorithm. He's the type of guy that is going to put major WWE star dies in car accident and then put something as far as breaking news in the thumbnail, put that in the title, and then talk for about 25 minutes about absolutely nothing. That's the type of content he's making nowadays, which is grade A fucking garbage. But there's a difference between me and guys like that. Thank you guys very much, man. I'm fucking exhausted, man. I have talked a lot of pro wrestling this weekend, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for the great support tonight, man. You guys fucking killed it. We still got 3,400 people in here. Thank you for the super chats. Can we get 2,000 likes? We're about 200 likes away. 213 likes away from 2,000 likes. Everybody in the chat that hasn't hit the thumbs up, man, hit that thumbs up. Seriously. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Cameo, Patreon.com/JD from NY206. Go check out all the content on the channel. We'll be live on Monday night for Monday Night Raw. Be here or be square. Tuesday morning with the coach, 11:30. Tuesday night with the Salamonster and Tuesday Night Titans. And then Wednesday we'll talk about Dynamite, but nobody gives a fuck about Dynamite. Give me a break. Thank you for a great weekend, guys. 10,000 people between both streams. You guys killed it. I appreciate you. Love you. Thank you for everything. We'll see you tomorrow night for Monday Night Raw. Because... very simple answer. Very simple. Because we are... that's all I gotta say. Thank you for a great weekend. And I will see you guys tomorrow for Monday Night Raw. See you guys later.